How did card games become a thing? Chapter 1, the Tang Dynasty. 9th century
Yeah,
China.
right. You see, China figured out block printing, and then white people were like, holy shit, this rules. I need to gamble. We're live. What is your Buzzball story? Excuse me.
No, not Buzzball. So you're
excuse me, Mad
watching,
Dog.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
trade
We're
you.
watching the World Cup, Kyle.
Okay.
Are you watching the World Cup, Kyle?
No, not at all. But I am watching all of the people who are not in the United States seeing the United States for the first time, and I'm feeling the most national pride I've ever felt.
Yeah. Well, I actually am I turned patriotic once the U.S. is kicking that ball, bro. Like,
Yeah.
just going crazy over these.
Did you know that Boston bars are out of beer because Scotland is being hosted there?
Hell yes, let's go. Scott's showing up, baby.
Okay, so what is your Mad Dog story?
Oh yeah, so
I'll trade you because I've got one.
I will leave my other party out of this. So I had a friend staying over. That friend might be listening to this episode. I had a friend staying over at our house for MomoCon 2016, I think. Yeah. And he's like, okay, actually stop by the racetrack. I gotta get some Mad Dog. We go. And I've never had this, by the way. He comes back with a bottle of blue stuff. And I'm like,
it really is blue stuff.
yeah, it's blue stuff and a bottle of Mountain Dew. Gets me one too. And he's like, if you put it in the Mountain Dew, no one will know you're drinking. So we brought spiked Mountain Dew to MomoCon.
What year
now,
was
mind you, I was not tabling this year. We were just attending. And I'm there, and I'm actually having a good fucking time because like I'm not a day drinker. I'm at a con. The vibes are good. I'm like social. I'm talking to people, and I'm sipping it gently. You know what I mean? Because it's like
Sure.
I haven't had much to eat. This friend of mine calls me like a few hours later. Is like, I'm sick. I'm going. I'm like, I'm your ride. Where are you going? No response. I get home that night, and I'm like, shit. He's supposed to call me, and like I have to pick up. And I've been calling him throughout the day, getting no response.
Sure.
And I'm like, did something happen? I started to feel bad, but I'm like, I'm going to trust him. He's an adult. He told me he was probably going to like go out raving or something. Next day, I see like a text message in my phone. I wake up, there's a text message. It's like, hey, sorry. After that, I ate, felt fine, went to the rave, and I almost got laid by a like fat goth girl. I'm like,
Okay, I understand now. Yes.
and I was like, okay, that's cool. Why did you take this long to tell me this? I was actually fucking worried about you. And he played it off like it's no fucking big deal. I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. You live your life, buddy. I'm glad. Did you actually hook up? And he was like, no, because I don't know. She started giving me crazy vibes. I'm like, okay, well, at least you were sober enough. Got it. And that's my Mad Dog story.
Okay. See, my Mad Dog
Never
story
had it
isn't-
again, by the way. That shit sucks.
No, yes, it sucks. That's not the point. The point is it's like $5.
Yep, all right. And you can hide it in a bottle of Mountain Dew.
Yeah. No. See, my thing in college, you get the trick is you get the orange one, and you mix that with Sprite, and it's surprisingly drinkable.
Oh, God, is it?
Note that I did not say good.
Yeah, because I was going to say Mountain Dew didn't really help it either.
Sprite makes and it's the orange one. I don't trust blue anything.
Why? Blue's the best color to drink.
Blue's the best color, but it's the most obviously artificial.
Potions are blue, Kyle. Don't you feel
Potions
like you're
are
in a
blue.
Final Fantasy when you're drinking that Mad Dog?
That's Yo, stray cats, mad dogs. No. See, I had a habit in college where I would get Sprite, get Mad Dog, invite a couple people over, and we would watch dog movies, as in like Airbud.
What? You don't have to
Airbud
be
3.
wrong about it.
I Want a Dog for Christmas. Karate Dog, starring Chevy Chase as the dog.
I don't know any of those except maybe
They're
Airbud.
not good. It was a weird point in my life where I was
What?
watching. I was simultaneously watching the worst. Well, I shouldn't even need a qualifier. Just dog-related movies and also Nicolas Cage movies.
What is this dog movie slander? All dogs
Find
go to
me
heaven.
a good one, and we'll talk.
All dogs go to heaven.
That is a good one.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. That might be it. I got nothing else.
Welcome to Brain Lords, Video Games of the Mind, a panel discussion
right.
between artists and the art they love. Sorry, Jorge, I couldn't have transitioned better than that. I'm your host, Kyle. I go by Q Monster Props, and I'm a special effects artist from the video games industry. I work at Vulpin Props, making trophies for major esports tournaments, as well as life-size items, weapons, and characters from your favorite video games. With me, as always, is my co-host, Jorge. Please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, I'm Jorge. I hate talking about myself. I'm part-time co-host and full-time illustrator.
Full-time Mad Dog.
Full-time Mad Dog, part-time cat dog. By the way, I hated that show. Yeah, let's go.
Even as a kid, I was like, this kind of sucks.
Dude. Yeah, your standards are this low and you're 10 years or 12 years old, and they still suck. Anyway, graphic designer, currently working with my friends at Fangamer, making video game merchandise and publishing your favorite indie games. We just launched our Mina the Hollower line. I'm actually really happy
Hell
about this
yeah,
one.
you launched the shit out of some lines.
Yeah, we did great. That surprisingly, I mean, everyone is just kind of over the moon with how well Mina the Hollower has performed.
Your shirt is so cool.
Thank you. Yes,
your t-shirt.
But I'm gonna hype up the plush more than anything. It's like adorable. I don't know if you've seen it. It's an alternate version of the Kickstarter plush.
Mm-hmm.
The Kickstarter plush came with like glasses and a book, and it's adorable. I don't know if you've seen it. But the regular Mina. By the way, I have not said those words until I met you. Degular.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's like
regular.
That's like a Kyleism.
Yeah,
the plush is really cool. Oh, I gotta hype up the cart. The little Gameboy pin cart. Did you see that one?
Oh, no, I just saw it.
That was designed by Mel, one of our newer artists. So like, I gotta shout that out. Yeah, she's
That's
really cool.
cute.
She's like she's not that new actually. She started like last year, but yeah.
But recent.
Yes, I know people. It's not a Game Boy Color cart. You can calm down. It's fine. They made Game Boy Color carts in that shape, though. Let's remember.
Well,
that,
also the games that it was most inspired on came on the original Game Boy. Let's be real.
Sure, fine. But anyway, what are we talking about today, Kyle? It definitely isn't drinking in public.
No.
Or is it?
Video games to be drunk to. And now, today's topic is.
Oh, that could be a good show.
Actually, yeah. Today's topic is. Video game card games.
Wow.
Shuffle up and deal a hand. There's nothing like the feeling of a full grip of cards as you draw and hear the snap of paper against the table. So why do we insist on recreating this perfect tactile experience electronically? Whether it's the 90s booms of collectible card video games, the genre-bending sequels spin-offs of the 2000s, or the current craze of roguelike deck builders, this episode is all about cards and why we might choose digital over the physical.
I'm always impressed by your copywriting.
Thank you. I try really hard.
I'm realizing how bad I am at it. For this episode, full disclosure, for this episode, I was the one writing the talking points. I'm like, how the fuck does Kyle do this? I don't fucking know,
dog.
Yeah, card
I
game.
just grab a buzzball and...
Oh, is that what you really did?
No, God, no.
Okay. If that's the secret, I'll try it, though.
Listen, I have to have at least medium quality alcohol or I will die.
Oh, oh, you're right. That's right. You're a lightweight. Sometimes you text me like, I had one, and he'll always, I know he's drunk because he'll always say one and then parentheses number one, beer.
Like, it's funnier that way. Also, the context you're not being given there is it's like always on an empty stomach. Because I have the beer first, and then I eat. So that by the time the food hits me,
let me guess.
I'm not drunk anymore.
Let me guess, because I do this sometimes. You're probably cooking and like just sipping a beer while doing
Yes.
that.
It's great.
Yeah, I do that sometimes. It's nice. That's true.
I do. It makes the cooking so much nicer.
Yeah, well, card games are cool, Kyle.
Yeah.
But you know what's better than card games?
I really don't know what.
Mad Dog. No, video game card games.
It's true. We play a lot of card games, video games based on card games, video games that are card games that use cards as their main mechanism. The onus of this episode is why? Why do we do that when we could be playing with real cards?
I know.
So, Jorge, let's just start off with our first question.
All right.
What introduced you to collectible card games?
I actually thought about this, and I have a fun answer.
What's your fun answer?
It wasn't
is it
really
Mad Dog?
It wasn't really like a. Oh my god, I'm gonna use that for the episode art, aren't I? I need to find some kind of dog sprite and turn it blue. I thought about this. You know what actually introduced me to trading cards? I don't know if you remember, back in the day, Topps did like Ninja Turtles trading cards that came with like gum.
Okay.
Yeah, like
I'm not familiar.
In the back of a pack was like chewing gum. And it just came with it. And that was like the first time I experienced like a trading card. But I'm telling you, I was like maybe 7 years old. That was a long time ago. Okay, never mind. I'm not gonna age myself. But yeah, and then after that, Nintendo Power used to do trading cards. You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like some of the magazines would have like cut out pages at the end, and they were like cheap hard cardstock paper that you just kind of fold and rip out. But so they had like all kinds of games for the 16-bit era. Kyle just sent me Magic the Gathering card called Release the Dogs. I didn't even know this existed. But then again, I don't know shit about it. Oh, well, there you go. And then after that, I think the proper trading card game that I like realized, oh, this is a game you collect cards for and play with, was the Pokemon trading card game.
Yeah, that was definitely mine.
Did you? Oh, so you played it too?
Mm-hmm. No, I played it. Like I went to a game store.
I was gonna ask, yeah. Did you do the Pokemon leagues back then? Those were fun.
Yeah, I did. So like my dad
give you a
would
little
bring,
notebook.
like, yeah, my dad would drop me off, and like I can imagine that these game stores were very used to like very young kids coming in and playing this thing. I was old enough to be dropped off for like an hour or so, and it's not like I was gonna leave or anything. But yeah, I would go, and for context, like the Pokemon leagues back then, you would have like a number of activities in this little booklet.
Oh, I remember. Every day you had to do like a checklist of things. You had to trade with somebody. You had to play a game. You had to either win. I think you just had to win one game, but you had to play like at least 3. I can't remember.
Yeah, and then there was like an activity. So like one would be like design your own Pokemon. And I made an evolution of Tangela that was like a shrub. Felt pretty good about it.
I remember making up Pokemon too. I remember mine was like a bipedal creature with like a giant. It had a ball-shaped body and an eyeball for a head, but it was on a long neck.
Mm-hmm.
And I called it. Oh, I can't remember. It was like Unitron or something, but I'm pretty sure I'm confusing that with the Lego sub theme.
Mine was named Weedra.
Weedra
instead of Tangela.
Because you smoke it.
No, I was like 12.
Oh, right. Never mind. Do you you remember they would give you like promo cards too, and if you did all the activities, you would get a badge.
Yeah, you get the badge if you get enough stamps.
I remember my brother was getting into it more than I was. He was younger than me. I was like looking after him whenever, because we were also dropped off at the Toys R Us, actually. That's where they hosted mine. And I remember doing the activities to get the promos, which one time they gave us like a Mew promo. That was cool.
Ooh.
And I still have it actually. When Fossil, they had a promo Aerodactyl card. I still have it. It says pre-release in gold in the corner. But yeah, it was fun. It was a cool little like outing. I never got to experience like social trading card I guess outings or gatherings. I remember like I went through it all. I was trading. I got my card stolen. I once traded an Ekans card for a couple of damage counters. So I came out on top because all I had to do was give up. Hey, here, have these like little glass bits that you can get at any like furniture store. You just
I love back then too, and like kids would like buy some shit at a Hobby Lobby for your counters. I have a feeling like my situation is pretty similar. I played in the Pokemon leagues. Obviously around that era, that was the boom of just trading card games in general. So I collected the Digimon game, in that I would ask my parents to buy me packs every once in a while when we were at the grocery store.
Yeah, I got some of the Digimons too.
I kind of learned how to play, but that one, I don't think that one was very good.
We actually played when I first played Pokemon TCG, we played it wrong. We thought all the energy was like expendable. So anytime you attack, you wait,
Oh
you use up
no.
energy. Yeah, so we didn't know how to play. We were playing it wrong until we actually made it to the league. It was kind of funny.
I remember I had a deck that was all about like any Pokemon that gained health on attack, I just put in there so that it was just the most grindy, annoying deck because I'm like, I'm not gonna lose health. This is stupid.
What was that? Like Venusaur did that? I'm
Golbat
trying to
specifically,
remember.
which may be why he's
Oh,
my favorite
Golbat.
Pokemon.
Yeah. Oh, you like Golbat.
So yeah, it was. I went through, I think, the Gambit. I did
The
Pokemon,
Gambit.
I did Digimon, and then I did Yu-Gi-Oh! I remember being really excited
Oh.
about Yu-Gi-Oh! Trying to get Japanese cards from the local game store before the show was about to come out. But they got bought up, and then I waited till the base set came out. So I played them all. And then likewise, I mean, I played a lot of the Game Boy games that were based on card games. And I mean, I think the rest is history. Like, got into Magic around middle school, and I still play card games, card game video games since then, and I still play Magic. Frankly, I've come in waves.
Not me. I do not come in waves. Okay, I'll stop. Sorry. After TCG, I kind of didn't play anything. My brother got into Yu-Gi-Oh though. And I tried to get into Yu-Gi-Oh, but I just wasn't feeling it. I didn't at the time. I was a lot less able to buy stuff. So like I remember I made a Yu-Gi-Oh deck entirely out of people who gave me freebie cards. And that's what I played with. And of course it wasn't great. It didn't help like at the time. I think you know this, like early Yu-Gi-Oh meta game was like prohibitively pricey because like a lot of
because you had to buy the weird promo
like,
cards.
Yeah, a lot of the early release cards would be like intentionally good, and then people would just have to whatever kid had that was just like the best at the game.
I love it too because it'd be like the best thing you could do was just find a 4-star creature with 1850 power, and that was just because the highest easy to get one was 1800.
I remember. Yeah. Oh, it was wasn't it Jinzo or something like
something like that?
Yeah, the guy with the Voldo looking guy.
No, that one was maybe it was, but him? Like,
yeah, it was. It was. I'll tell you. I'll share a Jinzo image, and you can tell me. No, it wasn't him because this attack is too high.
Yeah, Jinzo's the one that turns off trap cards.
Wow, what a jerk. What a piece of shit. Okay. Well, anyway, go on.
Anyways, so yeah,
Yu-Gi-Oh.
I don't know what drew me into card games specifically. Like, I like that you could collect them, but I think it was more like you're like using these pieces to put something together that's like expressive of your style, of your personality. You know, cards I think are a very easy to grok thing for even a kid. So, and obviously like to play this game, like all you need to do is just bring the cards and a couple little tokens. So I don't know what it was about them that just like that really drew me in, but you know, I've always loved card games, whether it be digital or physical.
You know what I liked back then? What drew me in was definitely the artwork, the
maybe
the
that's it.
of it. Like having for Pokemon TCG, I think the big appeal for me was number one, just I was at a fever pitch Pokemon hype. And then number two was the fact that I never played a trading card game before and having this different way of enjoying these little guys, like that may not be as viable in the video game as they are in like the card game, giving them a chance like that and just being able to appreciate like the colorfulness of it, the social aspect. Because I remember in school, like people would bring their cards sometimes. We would do trades, we would play. We would also have to fight not to get our cards stolen. What's rough for me.
Oh yeah.
God, I remember some kid got mad at another and like tossed their entire deck into a toilet. That
Jesus.
was crazy. After
just
that,
like in Yu-Gi-Oh.
I just stopped bringing my shit to school after that. I was like, no, I'm not. Like, I can't buy another set. Screw this. Yeah, and I guess like, are we going into the next topic. I think this is a good place to move on to the next topic.
Yeah, I mean,
Talk about,
I'll just say I agree with you. The art is a huge part of it. I think in the same way that music videos are a way for like an average person to see an experimental short film, like a lot of a lot of card games are just a means of like seeing different like mediums and like types of art, like the Pokemon art having like mix of watercolor and CG and clay sculptures.
That's what I was
like,
gonna
that was
say.
really cool.
It was great, especially for like again, it's important for young artists like me at the time to see how these characters can be interpreted in different ways. They always had like different guest artists to do like really wacky and weird styles. That was always just captivating. Those, I mean, we all remember. I think the most iconic ones ended up being the clay model Pokemon. A lot of people still talk about
So
those and
good.
how nice they were
Yeah.
today, and they're still doing stuff like that. So having like little pieces of art definitely meant. I remember you said Golbat was your favorite. At the time, my favorite was Meowth, and I remember when we finally got a Meowth card. I believe it was in the Jungle set. I was just like over the moon, like, oh, this is so cool. I love him. I'm gonna keep him. One for playing, one for
he's on that little pile of coins.
Yep, you remember the one with a purple background.
Yeah, and like also like the cards all do something that's kind of indicative to them, so it's a little bit of a performance art. And like I said, you're expressing yourself by like choosing the one. So like I think there's a lot of personality that you get and a lot of like art enjoyment that you get out of these little pieces. And I think that's you take for granted that.
It's a lot more fun to play with kids that don't know what the fuck a metagame is, and
right.
Put together some deck, and that's just it. That's what we play with.
All right. Well, yeah. Let's get into the meat of this episode, though, and let's just dive straight into it, which is what are the strengths and weaknesses of digital card games when compared to their physical alternatives?
Go ahead. It's your turn.
All right. So your move.
I was quoting Cult Set, but you can do Yu-Gi-Oh.
Sure. So obviously, like doing a digital card game, you get a lot of boons out of it. A lot of the tedium that comes with like shuffling and randomness gets solved by the computer. It also like you get to do a couple of things like randomness can be like not fully random. You know, you can assure that maybe you're given, say in Pokemon, like enough energy and Pokemon in your opening hand. So maybe it's like a random type of energy and random Pokemon, but you're guaranteed a hand that's playable, even though that's not random at all. It's like it feels random.
Mm-hmm.
So you can do a lot of that they cheat that. In a lot of digital games, you can have this curated collectible environment. You know, the game can be designed around like doling out cards at a specific interval.
Sure.
Speaking of specific intervals, your rewards in the games can be packs or other cards. So like the medium of cards just lends itself really well to like the structure and rule sets of a video game.
Okay, I'll add a little more to that. I think also a big strength of video games over digital card games over physical is having not as high of a paywall as like a physical card game would. That was certainly the appeal to me. I only have ever played Yu-Gi-Oh in video game form, and that's the way
you buy the game once, and you technically have all the cards inside.
You have that expansion in there, and I think that what would you call that? That self-contained.
Yeah, the biodome, as it were.
Yeah, of that snapshot of that time of the trading card game or system. It's a lot easier to access that way than having, you know, a shoebox full of cards and having to open packs. Like, I know cracking packs is like part of the fun of like the physical collectible card game, and I understand that. But when you don't have that much disposable income, it really is not that cool to open a pack, get a bunch of duds, and you just like, well, I'm down this much now, and I just have these cards I don't want. And I feel like I don't get that as badly with video games either.
I was gonna say, for context, we're talking about an era where it's like you buy the game, it's the card game, and usually it's like some sort of RPG or tiered battle where you're like starting with crappy decks and you're getting cards slowly doled out to you. So like it is a a gradual progression of
there's a much better
complexity
learning
of
curve.
cards. Yeah, versus when you play against your kid friends and one of them has rich parents and happens to get the mechanical chaser, which
God
just
damn it.
has 50 more attack power than your Lajin.
That's who we were talking
So,
about. I see him now. He's a little ball robot.
with a sword for a little dong. But
That's not his dong, Kyle. You don't even know that's a boy.
I mean, it's a girl robot. I'm just saying.
Not that a genital would determine that, right? Okay, well, moving on.
Anyways, yeah, so like it levels the playing field, which is really cool. Like it's not you playing against your friends and having to figure out what's fair based on like the limited resources that you have, or you looking up a metagame online. It's like I play the game, I'm dealt with crappy cards, I get better cards, I deal with harder opponents. And a lot of these games that are like these early card games are based around this progression curve.
Yeah, I think it's a better way to get into a new game, actually. Not okay. I shouldn't say better. I should avoid qualifying terms.
But
like
it's more
worse.
curated.
It's curated. It's accessible, is what I should say. It has a little more access to it. Now you do lose out on the social aspects of it, the social experience. Sure, you can like game link or whatever, but then at that point you're like, okay, well, back then you both needed that same game. You both needed it. And actually now you do too, because that's how things are. And I guess in this respect, the social aspect of trading cards is better in physical form, because having that tangibility, that quantifiable, like, I guess, object in your hand puts you in a better position to bargain for stuff.
Yeah.
But also it's kinetic, it's fun, it's playful. Who doesn't like actually sitting at a table and being surrounded by people you like or people you don't like and having a game of cards?
Yeah, no, it's nice. Like you have the physical cards in hand is a sensation that I think should not be underestimated.
I do want to bring up though, like something I do like about video game card games. I fucking did it, Kyle. I'm sorry.
How many times did we say video game card games in this episode?
It was just one, actually. It was me.
Okay.
Well, that was the title of the episode, so 1-1 right now. But yeah, who's keeping track? Me, I guess.
Editing Kyle will, sorry. Editing Kyle here. We say it approximately
11
times. Thank you.
One thing I really like about the digital trading card game is the fact that you can do a little more with it in a sense, in a 3D space, in a 3D world. So here we go, Kyle. One of my favorite video game card games is Concept. It's a series, actually. And the reason I like it is because it's more than just a card game. It's a board game.
It's a saga.
Oh, it sure is a saga. And a revolt. And the first. Okay, anyway. So it's I always describe Concept as like if Magic the Gathering met Monopoly. I cannot say that with authority, but it's the best way I can describe it, because there's an entire like board on the ground that your character walks on tiles and uses dice to have like movement spaces on. And every tile you land on, you play a card, and that card stays in that tile. You keep moving, and you set your cards on every tile you land in. When your opponent lands on your cards, they have to fight them, and that's where the card game comes in. And I feel like I look at this and it makes me want to imagine, like, how would this be in a physical space? It would be incredibly difficult because all the boards are different. Like, I don't know how you would play with some of like the traps and hazards and setups that you would do. How do you keep track of items? Like, all of this stuff you could probably turn into a board game for real, like in a board game IRL. But the amount of parts required to do something like that would be ridiculous. It would be one of those things like only one of us can have this game and everyone comes over to play it because it's incredibly inaccessible. It's like, you ever play Scythe, the board game? Just incredibly, like, an amazing board game, but holy shit. Spare an entire night for it and an entire table. And like just the prep alone is going to take you a while. Like it's that kind of thing where it's like, it sounds really fun on paper, but unless you're like an actual board game enthusiast, I don't know if a casual would get as much of enjoyment out of that. But I feel like
Arkham Horror is like that too, where it's just like how much time you want to go into setup.
Yeah, and like sure, block out an entire day for that. But then this is where digital video games have an digital video games. That's funny. This is where video games have an advantage, where all of that is just streamlined and just packaged into this little file, into a disc, into a cart. And it's a lot more accessible that way. You get all the little animations, you get all like even more art, even more characters that you can enjoy that way. Again, I don't want to quantify it as like this is the better experience, but it sure is convenient. You know, it's expedited. And I guess that's the word I'm looking for, expedited.
No, but you're right. Like you can do complexities that would just be untenable in physical space. You can do cards that are like generating things randomly that are fairly distributed. You can do like board games or like tile sets or things like that would just be unreasonable to manage. You can do pieces that just would like design a board game that just would like be physically impossible unless you had all the money and time in the world.
Yeah.
And that's what a video game card game can do.
And fit it all into a little disc, you know, or takes so like minimal space in your shelf. Nowadays it just takes up like hard drive space.
And so, it's not necessarily like a good thing, but it lets you do stuff that you couldn't normally do, and
it allows creators to kind of expand on the playability and like the features of a game. Now, will that make a game more complicated? It probably will. That probably is the disadvantage of video games, is that they can be a little too feature rich. They can be a little too dense. And let me tell you, like Concept, as simple as it sounds on paper, it's a game that like the tutorial will kick your ass. You know what I mean? So it takes a while to figure it out. Whereas like if you're playing a board game with your friend who knows all the rules and can guide you through the process and is not necessarily playing for like competitively, it's just warming up, it's a much more smooth transition into like the learning curve of it. That's an advantage that like a physical card game or even a board game that at this point has. No, but okay, so this is why I try not to like pit one against the other. It's a matter of preference, it's a matter of taste. And something I had to stop myself from saying too is that like video games can give the spectacle of cards like an effect too. So yeah, your little dragon and your card comes out and spits out fire. Holy shit, it's amazing. But then that also takes away from the imagination element of like what a collectible card game is kind of meant to be.
Yeah,
so like,
that's also something that I wanted to say too, is that like playing against a human, you get the advantage of like there's sort of like an abridging that you can do of the rules where like you kind of either both agree on what's fair or you both sort of generally understand what's going on, and there's a rigidity that you just do not that is comes with the territory of like a video game, because it can't interpret anything but like the very strict lines in which the rules are done. Oh, so well,
you're talking more about like the relationship between players, and we can get into that. But I was referring more into like the artistic expression of the player themselves being a factor in the physical card game. So like if I play Charizard and I do, what is it, like I forget what base set Charizard does, but like you can like imagine the creature doing the thing coming out of the card or from behind you, and like brah, and that's like, to me, that is ironically the strength that like physical TCG has, is that you piece together the gaps and like it looks cool in front of you. Yeah, at least to me. I know most people think of it more as like a statistical thing, but
no, I've always thought of it as like a mild performance art that we get to do of like
and you don't
the cards
have
act
that
like
with
the
video
things
games.
that they do.
Yeah, and you lose that a little bit when the game does that for you, and I feel like to me that might be the strongest element of physical cards. But then we can go now into what you were saying, where like when you're playing an opponent, there's more of a back and forth you can have with a person in case something goes wrong, or like if you make a mistake, that person can help you out. It's not like how the game would like just allow you to make a mistake and then just process it as like a deliberate act by the player. You would lose that in a video game over a card game, a physical card game.
I mean, I think one of the biggest strengths that like a video game that uses cards can have is the fact that it doesn't strictly have to be a card game.
Okay, yeah. It can expand, like it can move laterally or like broaden a little more with that, which we'll get into.
Yeah, which I wanted to use as a segue to our next topic.
Yeah.
Which is, Jorge, what are the key differences between card games being a feature in a video game and a genre itself?
Wow, good question. I wonder who wrote it.
That's a very good question.
Yeah, I think easily, which by the way, I hope you use that theme for this episode. So
What?
you can think of something like Triple Triad in Final Fantasy VIII is a card game in Final Fantasy VIII, but the game Final Fantasy VIII is not focused on that. It's a mini game. In fact, it's like you can play the entirety of Final Fantasy VIII without ever touching Triple Triad. I don't know why you would. It's like one of the only good things about that game, but that doesn't define Final Fantasy as a trading card game, but there is a trading card game in it. Whereas, let's say, I'll move away from cult stuff. Let's say Baten Kaidos or Phantasy Star Online Episode 3, where it's like the game itself requires like a deck for you to even take an action, or treats your actions as cards, as a deck of cards. Another example would be like, this one's interesting. You remember, of course you do, Party House from UFO 50.
Yeah.
It is a game about hosting a party, but at its core, it's a deck builder. It's you're basically playing solitaire with with cards that do different things depending on what they are, what character they have. That's like, to me, would you consider that a card game? Maybe not. That would be more of a feature. Whereas like, I would say, I don't know. Have you ever played SNK vs. Capcom? There's a card game version of SNK vs. Capcom.
I'm not aware, no.
Really? So SNK, I think it's called, the first one is called Card Battle. It was on the Neo Geo Pocket, and that one is extremely like easy to figure out. It's a very basic card game, but
Look at this thing. That's so cute.
The sprite art is incredible. I actually fucking adore the sprite art in this game.
Yeah, also it's one of them little like GB looking Chibis games. Chibis, depending on where you're from.
Yeah. It's got the Chibises. It's 100% ripping off some Pokemon sprites.
Oh, absolutely.
But the actual, when you're actually playing the card games, it has beautiful like sprite art for all the characters, and it's got a great roster too of like obscure SNK and Capcom properties. But then for the DS, they made the sequel, Card Battlers DS, which is a little more robust as a card game. I still think it's very easy and like kind of brain dead at points. But then at this point, that is a game about cards. That is a card game in a video game. It's no longer like, are these parts you use to like, I don't know, participate in the combat? Like, have you ever played Lost Kingdoms on the GameCube? It's a From Software game, actually.
Sounds familiar.
That one has card like building it. It has deck building in it, but it's hard for me to call it a card game. Because like what you do is you're basically a kind of a, not third person, but like kind of a top down view of the stage.
Yeah, a little isometric kind of.
Yeah, isometric, like beat 'em up angle, and you're fighting monsters, but your buttons and your attacks are the cards in your deck, and it's you get. Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like your cooldowns are just cards.
Yes, exactly. So you could take away the cardness of that and just kind of go with it, and the game wouldn't fundamentally change how it plays. So it's like it gets a little muddy there. Like, I don't know if you would call Lost Kingdoms a card game, even though it kind of is a card battler or a card based RPG, like action
Does
RPG.
your like deck, quote unquote, really change beyond just like whatever you're equipped? Because I feel like it's just all it's doing is having iconography, but functionally, like it is like just a regular like dungeon crawler that is using like items and equipment, but they're just cards.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I mean, sometimes you do need like a fire card to burn like something in the way.
But that's still functionally just like an inventory, you know?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Then it is kind of that. Yeah. Your actions are just the deck of cards.
So here's the angle in which I was approaching this question that you posed for me is
Yeah,
like,
go ahead.
you know,
Oh, I did? Oh, wow.
Mega Man Battle Network, the series, is like an
Mhm.
action strategy series. Like it's primarily action based, right? Like
Yeah.
it's about like timing and reactions and all that. But the nature of like the random like skills that you use is functionally a deck of cards.
Mhm.
It's chips, but I mean they're dished out randomly and they're rectangles. Like it's a card game. And I feel like the way that that game is described is primarily like it's cards. That's the means at which we talk about the genre of the video game, because
Mhm.
I feel like it's describing the way that the like the strategy, the randomness, and the like the building and self-expression is in that game. And I feel like that is the ultimate thing that determines these quote unquote video game
Ah.
card games, is like cards are just a really easy way for your brain to recognize like, oh, okay, it's random, or like I built the deck, right? Like, but it's still like, regardless of how you're doing that, whether it's real time, whether it's turn based, whether it's a strategy game like Cold
Mhm.
Sept, or even like Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel of the Roses, it's still a thing that you get dished out randomly and you build up like progression over time in the form of a deck.
Yeah, I would sooner call Battle Network a card game than I would Lost Kingdoms.
Right? Yeah, I feel like Lost Kingdoms is a good example of like the counter, where it's literally cards, but they don't play like they don't feel like cards, other than the fact that they're rectangles. Like they're not cards, you know?
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I actually like Lost Kingdoms because it tries to do that kind of.
Oh, it's cool
It tries to do combat
iconography.
differently. Yeah, yeah.
But it
And
could have
has
easily
art,
have
and it
been
has that.
like rings with summons in them, you know, like
Yeah,
soul
it could have been
rings.
like anything, like yeah, little spheres, little orbs of power that just give you an
Yeah.
ability. It's interchangeable. It doesn't really feel like it doesn't really feel like I'm playing a trading card game. Whereas like,
Yeah.
ironically, Party House feels like I'm playing a trading card game. You know,
Yeah,
more than
because you're right.
Lost
Like
Kingdoms
it's a
does.
solitaire game, and the reason that works so great digitally is like you could play that solitaire. It would suck. Like the amount of shuffling you'd have to do would be really annoying.
Oh
So
yeah, so going back a little bit to the last question, one of the big advantages, one of the big strengths that video games have over card games is that automatic shuffle, bro.
yeah,
I
and
cannot say-
searching up
that is probably
cards
the
and
big thing. Yeah, yeah. Oh my god, I cannot tell you. Like Pokemon TCG is
that's all you'd
is
be doing is shuffling.
I actually, that's like one of the things I actually hate about TCG Pokemon, like just how much you have to shuffle your goddamn cards. Anyway,
All of the meta
yes,
decks too. It's like you were constantly searching for things.
I know it's like if you the way well, at least when I played the game, basically the way you construct the Pokemon deck is, can I just get every card I want every turn? And if the answer is yes, then you're building a good deck.
So I'm trying to think of other examples. There's like a Chain of Memories.
Oh,
I think is also
oh,
a
memory. See, Chain of Memories falls into the Lost Kingdoms issue where like that game didn't need to be a card game.
hmm.
It didn't need
Yeah,
to have
but
cards in
like
it.
that, we still describe it as a card game, right? Like that's the thing that
Sure.
kind of takes over. Even though you're right, like it's more about like how it manages progression, but like I don't know, we describe them more like we see them more as card games. It feels more appropriate to give that the genre, like the lead genre descriptor, as card game first, and then you
Mhm.
go into like action RPG second. Or like if you say action RPG card game, like the card game does all the heavy lifting of that descriptor.
For Chain of Memories, I feel like I would disagree. I would prefer something more like Phantasy Star Online Episode 3, where if you swap, I don't know, the cards feel more important in something like that. Whereas for Chain of Memories, it is one of those like, well, why don't I just swap these cards out for commands that just pull out randomly?
Yeah. I think maybe the difference in that one is that like functionally the cards that you're getting, like you're building a deck, but it's just incremental progression. Whereas like you're not really expressing yourself. You don't really have a build in that game. It's just getting better keyblades, right?
Yeah, you get the better cards. You like there's always going to be like a better deck to and don't get me wrong, like you can make that argument for Battle Network too, but the thing what separates Battle Network from Chain of Memories to me is I get like I think you mentioned this earlier. The control you have over it is more for something like Battle Network, where you actually can have like your build, your deck, your like loadout of like what kind of.
Yeah, because I mean, like when you played that game, can you remember like a build that you had?
Not a specific build, no, but I can remember like the ratios I would try to hit for like 40% or maybe 50% attack, like 30%. Well, and within those attack cards, like or chips, have like ranged, have the little grenades, anything that's like field, and then have some field controlling chips too, where like, okay, well, I need something that'll get me out of trouble if my stadium is like this, or my side of the arena is destroyed. I can have the repair area chip, or what's the other one, like, or for the opponent, and then just have like maybe 1 or 2 summon chips just for like that final attack, that clutch moment. I don't know, like I didn't have a specific build.
Okay, well, like for anyone who might not be as familiar with these games, like Mega Man Battle Network is a like real-time game where you're getting these chips that are cards functionally.
Yeah, it's kind of is real-time strategy.
Yeah, it's a 3x3 grid, and then you use your attacks, and they have different like ranges, timings, and space associated with them, and you can do things that affect the field. And you hit your opponent and reduce their life points down to 0, and you win the fight. And so like when you're playing, like you can do a build that's like temporarily stealing your opponent's like side of the grids, so you have more room to maneuver. And you can do like swords, which are like melee attacks that hit one space in front of you. So like one of the early builds is just constantly use area grabs and make it so that your opponent can't move, and then just hit them with swords. Or yeah, you're right, like it could be all like cannons and like ranged attacks, so you're never actually having to worry about like how far away you are. There are different like letters associated with the cards, and the more overlap in that letter that you have.
The letters mattered because like you could only have a certain amount of the letters, or like when during if I think it's when you get your new like your card refresh, you can only take out the same type of letter,
the same letter
every turn. Yeah. So like having that card in that letter is important, because then it can fit like a certain deck build.
Yeah, like all the swords were like L's usually, but like some of them would be like R's, which you could pair with roll, so you could get some health back, and stuff like that. So yeah, like cool. You can really express yourself in that game. So I feel like that one feels way more like a card game.
Yeah, okay, so that's true. I'm glad you brought up the little restrictions, because I think that's the difference. That there's like more of a, I want to say like a metagame to it, whereas like Chain of Memories and Lost Kingdoms just get the better card and put it on. Like that's it.
I still think you're right, like people would still call them card games, and that would probably be like a main selling point, because that's what sets it apart. But you're right, like it doesn't feel like a card game, whereas like
feel
Phantom
less
does.
Like a genre. Yeah, I would call Lost Kingdoms a card battler, but I would probably prepend that with like
it's card themed.
Well, it's an adventure RPG, or like
But like I was trying to say, like Phantom Dust is like an action RPG. Trying to get you to play that, man. I think you would love it.
I have it.
Check it out. It's really good.
I have it.
The designs are cool as fuck. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that is a game where you are building a deck. You have a very specific build, and it could be something like a bunch of like quick stun attacks that like stagger your opponent that lead into like a really big attack. You can manage how much energy you have, so you can like do builds that use like a lot of attacks with like little energy, or like one big attack. And like it is all about how you express yourself, and like different enemies will have different builds, so you might have to build the deck specifically to counter it. Like it is about the deck building, whereas I feel like a lot of these other games, yeah, you're right, like you don't build the deck, like you just upgrade.
You just grind until you get good cards. Which is fine. Like I still enjoy like
it's like it's an easy progression to understand of like, here's my deck, and I know it's better than when I started because all of my Keyblades are better Keyblades now.
There is still that reward of, I got the good card. I'm gonna use it right away. I think if I remember correctly, Chain of Memories also had like summon type cards, and those were exciting to get because that's a big deal, and it's a big deal when you shuffle and like it comes up at the time you need. Oh, hype! Oh my god!
And that can be an exciting way to like your brain understands like that type of randomness, because cards are a very easy thing for you to get, as far as like a random number generator that like all human beings basically have experience dealing with.
I feel like that is a key feature of any game that uses cards as an element is the randomness, the shuffling, the refresh, having a hand, so to speak.
Because we like that. It's exciting. Like it is.
Yeah. Okay. That's true. Yes. That it puts you in like a thinking like analytical position. Like you have to calculate your next move. You can't just smash a button, even though you kind of can in Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, that's
nice
probably why it doesn't feel like a card game. Because like most of the shit is just attacks.
That's another feature.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. So look, we're being nice to Chain of Memories, and most people are anyway. So
I think it's fine. Like it's fine.
It's fine.
Especially if you're playing on Gameboy, where it's like,
yeah, play it on the GBA. That's the ideal experience for Chain of Memories.
But yeah, like to go back to your Lost Kingdoms thing, like. For me, Back for Blood has a like
Back for Blood has
a loot / feat system, I guess you would say, that is all card themed. But it's card themed, like it's just stuff you equip that makes you have different skills. Like it and you do get like other cards when you're going throughout your missions, but it's functionally just skills. Like you could call it literally anything. If you could call it like just like in Lost Kingdoms, like if it could just be soul rings or whatever, like. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that it's cards. It's functionally items or feats or skills or whatever you want to call it. So, even if there is some degree of randomness of how it's dished out, it's doesn't feel like a card game.
Talking about feats over here. What kind of game is this?
Feats is gross, dude.
You know what? Agreed. I love drawing them though. It's fun to draw foot.
Weird. I'll take your word for it.
Like Kyle's like putting a pin on that. All right.
But yeah, so I think we have a general idea here that like even though some games I think like the fact that they use cards at all does like supersede the way that you would describe them. Some cards just fundamentally feel more like card games. And I think there is a general I think it's you got to have kind of at least one of the two. It's some degree of like deck building and or like randomness through the means at which you interact with the game.
Name your cardiest card game you can think of.
Card video game?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Let me think.
Do you ever play Voice of Cards? I really want
Voice of Cards? No, is that a newer one?
That's Yoko Taro's card game.
Oh yeah.
I've always wanted to. There's like I have all three and I still haven't touched them.
I mean, I guess you're not as familiar with this one, but Inscription is an extremely cardy card game.
Yeah, that's another one I've been really wanting to get into.
Yeah. It's because like I won't get into the details, but like it's fair to say a game by the Pony Island developers. Like things change fundamentally as you play that game, and the type of card game can change over time, and it is very much a love letter to like the different styles of video game card game. As you go throughout the game, there's different stages of the game where the rules maybe fundamentally change.
I'll name a game that looks like a roguelike but is actually a card game.
What is that?
Slay the Spire.
Yeah.
It wants you to think it's a roguelike, but it is 100% a card.
Yeah, no, I think that leads us into our next topic, but why don't we take a quick break with a segment I like to call Game Ratings.
No, I want to go to the next topic,
I
Kyle.
know, it's a good one. It's okay. It's all
right, fine. We'll do Game Ratings.
Oh, go draw a foot.
More like lame ratings.
More like lame gayings.
What were they thinking?
All right, I'll present a category like fighting game finishing moves, play it loud Game Boy colors, games you'd rent at Blockbuster, and we're going to come up with something underrated, overrated, and accurately rated. Today's topic is trading card game formats.
Hang on, I blinked and I missed it. Did you just change the Game Ratings intro?
No, I didn't. I'm probably just stammered a little bit.
Oh my god, no, I might have imagined like a new thing you said. It's been the same, y'all. Don't worry about it.
Did I stutter? No, but you lisped a little bit.
Oh, I would never say that. Okay, so what are we doing? Oh, we're doing card format?
Yes. Yeah, trading card game formats. So real life card games, the different styles in which you'd play them. Which ones are overrated, underrated, and accurately rated? Would you like to start, Jorge?
Do you want to do like specific TCGs?
I have different TCGs for most of mine.
Okay, that's good, because like that's what I was thinking. Unfortunately I don't have a lot of experience with TCGs outside of Pokemon, so it's time for me to rant about Pokemon TCG.
That's
again.
fine. Mine's Magic themed.
Okay, good. Actually,
This
my
segment I
accurately
call
rated.
bitching about card games.
Yo, my accurately rated. I intentionally picked to make you mad, but that'll be
Go
funny.
for it.
Okay, so overrated. You know, wait. I'll start with under. TCG Pokemon has something called the expanded format, which lets you play with the out of rotation cards. It has a relatively small banned list. I almost wasn't going to mention this. I think expanded format can be like tricky to play with because it's like slightly unregulated. But the reason I'm putting it underrated is because of the reason it is not as regulated as it should be, because Pokemon, the TCG division of Pokemon Company, has completely ignored expanded format and has not updated it since before the pandemic.
Oof.
Yeah, so it kind of is a Wild West a little bit. Like they'll maybe ban a few cards here and there, but for the most part, there's not really a lot of support for it anymore. In fact, none at all on official like events. You kind of have to do that on your own if you want to. You can probably have expanded format on if you're running a Pokemon event at your game store, you could probably do that, but it's like
It's
there's not
functionally
really
a
any
dead
support for
format,
it.
though.
Yeah. So and the frustrating thing about Pokemon TCG is that the only thing that's ever supported is standard, which is actually my overrated pick. Because like if Pokemon TCG has a problem is that it's extremely regulated in like a weird way. When I was getting into Magic during the Final Fantasy expansion, I was impressed with how many formats it had, and a lot that were just like user what would I call that, like user sanctioned, user supported, or player supported, I should say. Whereas like Pokemon is kind of everyone out for themselves, and like sure you can find people who are playing like expanded, retro, what was another one? Pauper, which I find kind of interesting. Pokemon has a Pauper format too. But no one's playing that because it's standard. Like if you want to play competitively, you play standard because that's the one that's going to be sanctioned. That's the one that's going to be at the events. That's the one that's going to be at the championships and the online game. Did you know the online game only supports standard format?
And it's like a weird version of standard where like you get separate draws for your energy, right? Like
no,
the online client is like its own thing.
It's fine. Right? No, in that respect, it's fine.
Okay.
The problem is that the only way to play expanded is against random people who also play expanded. It's not ranked. It's not. You can't play with an AI. You cannot practice You cannot even practice your deck in expanded format against a computer player. Like there's no support for it. It's just there to kind of like, hey, shut the fuck up. We put that in there. Don't ask us for anything ever again.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember being kind of frustrated about that, especially when Pokemon TCG, the rotation for cards is like every 3 months. Like, it's they add new cards every 3 months, but every rotation happens a year, and they take out like a whole expansion. But that's normal, fine for like standard formats. But my God, like having to learn the metagame every time a new expansion comes out, I have to spend all that money on cards. It made me kind of jealous of Magic players who can just like play Commander and bring their deck from 2017 into a game. And that's actually my accurate pick, Kyle, because I want to piss you off. I think Commander is just fine. I wish Pokemon TCG had something like Commander. Maybe not straight up Commander, because I think it is kind of lame that like every card game group card game community is trying to make their own version of Commander. Like
it is funny that like no one has figured out that like your game can be so much better if you just allow for, even if the rules are crappy and like barely supported, the fact that you can do like you can do 2 players in Magic and you can do 200 players in Magic. Like there is There's a way to play Magic called Grand Melee, where someone is like arbitrating turns for like
What?
50 to like 90 people simultaneously.
Goodness. So
Yeah.
I do wish other card games, because right now the one I'm getting into is Gundam TCG.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I do wish other card games had like more robust formats. Unfortunately, that's up to players to decide what to make those into like playable things. And unfortunately, the creativity of players extends to just, well, why don't we do Commander Gundam? And I'm like, no, you can't. It doesn't work that. It's not the same as Magic. You can't just commander something into every card game. Stop. So in that respect, I'll agree. It's a little bit like, it gets a little bit too much attention. But for when I play Commander, I'd have a good time. And that's the only way. Well, I played standard Magic and I didn't like it. I actually prefer Commander. So yeah, I put it on accurate because I think it's kind of neat. It's kind of neat that you build a deck out of 100 cards and all of them are different and you don't have to buy multiples of the same cards. It's like $20 fucking online.
Yeah.
And you can play with whatever deck you have. You can build precon, or you can have a precon and tell everyone, hey, let's just play with precon decks. And everyone's fine with that because they build pretty decent out of the box decks in Magic. Not in Pokemon. You buy a Pokemon deck out of the box, it sucks. It's not gonna be good. You're gonna have to buy. Oh, damn it. Well, I'm talking about old, like back when I was into it, like 2 years ago. Oh man, this one doesn't have 3 Pidgeots. Damn it. It only has 1. Oh,
They always do that. It sucks. Every card game does that, where you're like, they make the deck that's like the standard competitive deck, and they know they can't just give you the full play set of the good card that you actually need.
But
God
see,
forbid.
Like, the commander decks kind of do that, and I appreciate it. Oh, of course, the problem is that they do try to fleece you a little bit. They're like, well, it's 100 cards, so you're going to charge you more for it. And it's like, fuck off. Okay, Kyle, your turn.
All right, I'm going to go to mine. We will start with my accurately rated, which is Yu-Gi-Oh's advanced format.
Wow, tell me.
Yu-Gi-Oh has like, technically they have more formats, but they're like super unsupportive. I think there's a format that's literally just old school Yu-Gi-Oh called like GOAT or something like that, but it's kind of more of a fan format.
What, do they unban the 4 cards that are banned from Yu-Gi-Oh?
No, it's like you can only play from like certain years to certain years. It's like only
okay.
Like
that's
up
a little
until
more
like
controlled, yeah.
It's like
That's
only
cool.
up until like 2006 or something like that. I don't know, but
all right, neat.
You get the idea. Because the only real way to play Yu-Gi-Oh is advanced format, which is basically like everything goes with a small ban list and a small restricted list. And that's it. And like the players don't really have to worry about that because every time a new set comes out, it's either going to fundamentally shift the metagame because a new deck is supported enough because Konami literally chose for one specific deck to be supported, or they didn't. So like it's just I say it's accurately rated because I think this shit sucks, and I think everyone kind of realizes that it does. But if you play Yu-Gi-Oh, it's kind of all you have, and you just stick with it, and people are just kind of, I don't know, they've just kind of accepted it. I think it just is like, and that is why it's accurately rated.
I refuse to touch Yu-Gi-Oh. I heard it's bonkers.
I played it as a child. I thought it was neat, and like it's weird because people will like agree to play like, oh hey, we're all gonna play kitchen table like tier 1 or tier 2 decks against each other, not tier 0. But like you kind of have to do that like because you realize that if you don't, it's gonna be shitty.
Is it true that there is no rotation in Yu-Gi-Oh?
No, there's no rotation. The rotation is they make a new set that completely like nukes the previous top tier decks.
So the metagame regulates itself. It's
does.
ironic because I was just complaining about how Pokemon has too much rotation, and then Yu-Gi-Oh has the opposite problem where it's like, fuck no, everything.
They have rotation. It's just in the form of like it's an unspoken rotation.
Yeah. Like we ain't using that card. It sucks now.
Yeah. My overrated because I've been in the trenches for too long is Commander in
I knew it.
Magic. Magic has a way of playing multiplayer where you pick one creature that helms your deck, your commander, and you build around it. And it's great, and it's full of fun self-expression, and it's a very beer and pretzels way to play because you can play with 4 people instead of just 1v1.
That's the best part about it.
And in that, it is great. But I think lately Commander has been designed. Now Commander, it used to be completely fan run, and like those people would consult wizards on stuff. They would get like advanced previews of things and talk about like what would or wouldn't work good for the format.
That's neat.
Because it quickly became like the most popular way people were playing the game because it's social. But then there was a big hullabaloo where like they banned some cards, people got death threats, people were harassing women specifically for like
over
making a scapegoat
paper.
because their paper got taken away from him, Jorge.
Oh my God,
the cards they weren't ever going to sell were suddenly worth no money.
The only time I get mad when someone takes my paper is the government.
But I didn't have a quip for that one. I'm so sorry.
Hey.
But ha-cha-cha-cha. Yeah, so like it's a cool format, but like especially in the last couple of years, like because it's kind of like now Wizards knows to specifically design for it. It's not something that you're doing kind of in spite of them, like kind of through your own means. Now you pick up the deck that is pre-made and they make like, 10 to 30 new cards that are specifically made for that kind of deck archetype. And it's kind of like now if you want to build that deck archetype, you get like your top picks for card recommendations are usually all the cards that were designed for that deck archetype, for the pre-made Commander decks, for that thing. And so, and if you don't, like, it's just like, it's all social, it's all informal, but like, it's very difficult to self-regulate that stuff, especially when playing against strangers.
Oh, sure. So, yeah.
I think people have just like gotten so comfortable with playing that, and especially like online, it's like the only recorded gameplay you see is basically either people playing like the online client 1v1, or if it's IRL, it's like all Commander. And that's like all you ever see. And it becomes like the only way to interpret this game. And like,
that's true.
It's fun. It's really fun, but the math is just not made for all Magic. Like it is meant for like incremental value, one turn, one person at a time. And I think people lose like the actual fun numbersy part of the game when all they ever interact with is Commander, and they want like a cool card game out of it. Like Jorge, you clearly like just want a way of self-expression that's fun and social and just is a cool board game experience. And that's great, but...
So you're saying Commander is Smash Brothers with items on.
Yeah, but in like I'm saying for the people that only plays, it's like if the invested Smash Brothers players only ever played with items on, and I'm like, guys, there's like, it's not even that. It would be like a fighting game tournament, and there's a couple of groups of people, and all they ever play is Smash Brothers items on, and you were like, hey guys, you should check out Skullgirls, it's really cool, and they're like, I guess.
Because this thing is like, I would say the opposite if like Commander is if everyone just wanted to play Smash Brothers Melee. But no, I think Magic, what appeals to other people about Magic the Gathering is that other people do it.
Yeah. It's very easy to find other Magic players.
It's very easy to find other Magic players, especially other Magic players who got into it because of other Magic players. It's very hard to find like someone who's been playing it for this long, since like they were kids. These days, in my opinion, it's a little harder to find that.
And for that, it serves its purpose. But like I'm just saying, I think the people that only play Commander, I think they need to branch out a little bit. That's all.
Not me. Don't tell
You're
me
fine.
What to do. What are you, the government?
Pass.
All right.
This is
my other topical joke.
Cha-cha.
I'm so aware of current political events, Kyle.
I don't have a good joke about like green pools. That's my only. I want to tell you, if you want to hear about another rectangle that makes me mad.
Yeah, what is that? A new Magic card, Kyle? The green pools,
the green pools.
mossy pools.
Yeah. It's a land that taps for blue or green, and then it says skip your next turn. Lose $13 million.
Wow, amazing, beautiful.
Anyways,
talk about lost paper. Anyway,
topical.
Woo!
No, so my final one, my underrated. First, I'd like to make a quick shout out. Have you ever heard of Flesh and Blood?
I've heard of Flesh and Blood. Yes.
I haven't played it, so I can't really speak on its behalf, but I was looking into its formats, and they have a format called Silver Age where the backs of all the hero cards have like them when they're a baby.
What?
and their stats are all worse. And Silver Age is like you play with a smaller deck. You can only play with a younger version of your hero. And like there's yeah, and then it's only like the commons and stuff. So they have like a faster, simpler format that's more for like teaching people or for a quick game.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's cool. I don't know anything about Flesh and Blood, but I think that's neat. I think it's underrated that like more games should have something like that. But
they should have, there should be more official like Pauper style with a Pokemon where you can like you just play with commons and uncommons, no rares, no ultra rares, and it forces people to be more creative with deck building. It forces people to think of different strategies, not just like
I don't like opening a pack and feeling like there is fundamentally just paper waste in there. Because with Pokemon, a lot of those cards are useless. They are not designed to be played with. They're not even really designed to be collected, except in like one corner of a part of a page for people who want to have the whole set.
Bro, if you don't like that about Pokemon, you will hate the metagame in Pokemon TCG because it is all about like ultra rares and whatever evolves into an ultra rare. Those are the cards that matter. It's really, I mean, it's kind of cool when a common card becomes meta because you get cases like Cleffa, which can draw cards without use of energy. That became a meta card, and that's a really common one. But it's rare for that to happen. Usually, like the essential building blocks of your of basic Pokemon deck building. Another reason I got out of this fucking hobby are usually like going to be expensive, hard to find on either uncommon or rares. At worst case, ultra rares, which means you're gonna have to deal with scalpers. You have to deal with price hikes. You're just it's not fun anymore. It sucks. It's not cool anymore.
Stupid. All right, so let me flip this around for you because my real underrated.
What?
And something I just.
You sneaky little...
It's because I don't know about Flesh and Blood. I've never played it.
But I thought it was cool that you said it. I like that idea of playing with baby characters. Like Google.
No, I think that's fun. It's fun.
It is fun. More formats like that should be.
And they even have a multiplayer one that's like some sort of like brawl or something. But anyways. My real underrated pick is I have just recently gotten really into a Magic format called Cube. Have you ever heard of this one?
I've heard of the movie Cube, but not the format Cube.
I've heard of the movie Gleaming the Cube starring MC Bat Commander of the Aquabats. I have
not heard of the movie Gleaming the Cube.
This is a BMX movie. Anyways.
But also, I don't think the Cube movie's that... Well, no, the Cube movie's kind of cool, actually. I'll take it back. Rec Room. No, sorry, go on.
Okay, so all Cube means is it's a DIY set. You make your own set of Magic cards. You sit with 8 other people, you draft the set, and you all make your own little decks, and then you play a little mini tournament. Like, that's Cube. The most popular way of playing it is you just do like 500 or so of the most powerful cards of all Magic, and you make busted combo decks and you play them against each other.
Are there any restrictions in deck building?
Only your mind. That's the thing. I've become very disenfranchised with Magic recently because of like the constant churn, because of the constant power creep, because of all this other stuff that I could yammer on about, but you don't want to hear that because it's lame and stupid. But what I'm realizing is a lot of the Cube people,
I kind of do actually.
They do complain about this stuff, but like most of the time they just make a set that doesn't have the like spin-off cards in it. It's unspoken. Yeah. They just, if they don't want to play with it, they don't design around it. And they make their own custom set that's all themed around something cool, like a way they like to play, or all the cards like feel like they belong to the movie Mad Max. And they make a custom set.
Theme around it too?
Yeah, so it's like a battle box or like a party box or something like that. So like, some people are just trying to like play your bread and butter style Magic where all the different archetypes of like each color is represented and they just play like classic Magic. But like another cube someone designed was called the Mad Max Cube. And you don't even get lands. Like when you're building your deck, you have to draft the lands as well as the cards because it's Mad Max, because you're like starved for resources. And Magic has like the 5 colors of like islands,
Yeah.
mountain, plains, swamps, and all that. In the Mad Max cube, there were no forests.
Mm-hmm.
There's only one green card, and it's a card called Seed of Hope, and you're not really meant to pick it. It's just because it's Mad Max. And of course there would be a Seed of Hope there. And there's like almost no blue cards because there's very little water. And so it's all about like being scrappy and like using your resources, and all the cards just like have like raiders and like deserts in them, and like they're all themed, and it's just because someone thought that would be cool. And I was reading their little like primer on it, and they said that all the cards are unsleeved, and I store them in an old MO crate, and ideally you're supposed to just shake up the box instead of shuffling the cards.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so it's really becoming like the DIY scene of Magic.
So you're saying that there's an emerging DIY scene in response to kind of the, I don't know if I'm using the right word, but the corporatization of the Commander format. Okay. And then also, like you said, the power creep. But additionally, and this is something I will relate to you on and kind of sympathize with, every new Magic expansion seems to be like a crossover. I can't remember what the last like original Magic expansion was.
They had a Magic
not
School
because
one.
I'm not paying attention. Yeah, I'm not paying attention,
you're good.
But I see like a lot of the ones that get the red carpet are like the Spider-Man, the Ninja Turtles.
It's more than half
Avatar.
these days.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild.
And so if you don't want to engage with that, you just don't have to. You just make a cube. And
yeah, so it's in response to stuff like that.
Yeah, there are lists people make online, but also you can just pick your favorite cards, dog. Is it balanced? It doesn't matter. Are you seriously going to play it with 10,000 people all playing online simultaneously? No, you're going to play it like maybe once a week at most. And if it's unbalanced, either A, you can change the cards to be like a constantly evolving project that's fun to like game design on, or B, it's fun to break the game sometimes, which is something that we didn't say about like digital card games, is that they can be made to be broken.
You mean physical card games can be broken more than digital?
Well, no, I mean all of them. I think like digital, like it can be fun to break them because there's no.
You're saying that there's no format, there's no like limit.
Yeah, it's not like a degenerate deck because you're just playing against the computer. In the same way, if you figure out the busted thing in a cube, it's like, oh, cool. Is that still fun for everyone? Because if not, I'll just change it. So yeah, play cube, everybody. It rules.
That's kind of why I don't like standard in Pokemon so much either, because it kind of makes it so that most of the good decks are just going to be like 2 or 3, like really top tier, and that's what everyone's going to use. My God, I was running into that problem online so much, and it does get exhausting to be like, oh, here we go, another Mega Charizard deck. All right, go ahead, get your 2 fucking dark energies, game over. It can be frustrating to have. I guess that's the power creep. It can be really frustrating to deal with stuff.
Well,
like
if you make a cube, you can either update it every set or you can never update it. It's all up to you.
I mean, this is why I like pre-release events, because or the whenever a new expansion comes out, people only play with the cards they're given. Everyone's on a more playing field in there, and it's really more about knowing how to play than it is about what cards you have.
Exactly. And that's the fun, is like it's hard to not know about all the cards, and so being able to recapture that by any means is really fun.
Sounds cool.
It is. All right, well,
let's go back to the topic.
Yeah, let's go back to the episode. Let's shuffle up and get back here. Right. Will you allow me to get a whiskey sour?
Are you serious? If you do that, I'm gonna get myself a rum.
Okay. Let's just. I'm gonna pause this.
Deal.
We'll take a quick
deal.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Brain Lords, video games of the mind.
Are you ready to be the ultimate Pokemon Master Trainer?
Yes, I think I am.
Then join the Pokemon Trading Card Game League. You'll do awesome activities, learn wicked strategies, earn killer badges, and meet new friends as you begin your journey to become a Pokemon Master Trainer. To find out more about the Pokemon Trading Card Game League, log on to wizards.com. Go forth and be a master.
Fellow duelists, behold the next evolution of dueling, the Duel Disc. Who will accept this challenge? It's the official Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel disc. With everything you need to duel with the official Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game. Now you can activate your strongest magic cards and summon your most powerful monsters in a whole new way. Dueling will never be the same. Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Disc Accessory. Official trading cards not included.
Here at Magic's testing facility, gameplay technicians simulate every possible battle.
Call in the Org and the Raging Goblin. What? The Goblin's out sick? Well, we'll have to proceed without him. Send in Bob from accounting. I'd say the first round goes to the Org.
Magic the Gathering, the trading card game.
Brainlords, video games of the mind.
What you put in the high
This is 2 parts whiskey. It's the Elijah Craig whiskey. 1 part lemon and 1 part simple syrup. That's all. Sometimes you can add a cinnamon stick if you want. That's all.
Is it lemon? Like, are you squeezing a lemon or
Well, you
lemon
can do that,
juice?
but I just have lemon juice.
Oh, okay. Nice. What's the brand again? The whiskey?
Elijah Craig. It's a good, like, decent
I'll try
quality
that.
for your money.
I busted out the overproof rum
Oh, in the Sands
It's-
cup.
in the Sans glass.
Mhm.
He's staring at me, judging my life choices.
Drinking that shit like.
Here you go. Cheers.
Cling. So I smacked the camera.
Webcam.
All right, I was
All right.
checking on my darling wife, and her eyes were misty, and I say, "You okay?" And she goes, "Yeah, I'm fine. I was just crying." I'm like, "You okay?" And she's like, "No, it's fine. I was just watching a sad movie." I'm like, "Oh, okay." And she goes, "It's called Voicemails
What
for
was she
Isabel,"
watching?
and it's the sisters, and the one of them passes away, but she leaves voicemails. I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like,
Aw.
and then a guy inherits the number, and he finds her the voicemails, and then she loses the voicemails, and they have to spend a lot of money to recover them. So he has a Black Lotus card, and he sells the Black Lotus card. I'm like, wait, what?
What is happening?
I don't know. So card games, everybody.
Yay.
Which leads us into our next topic, Jorge. How have digital collectible card games evolved over the years, and where are we now?
This is a hard question for me. Because I really only started playing or paying attention to like digital card games when I played Card Battlers DS, the SNK vs Capcom game. That's kind of when I realized like, oh, I like this stuff. I like having the cards. Actually, no, my bad. Before that, there was a Yu-Gi-Oh! GBA game, and I'm trying to remember
Ooh,
which
yeah,
one of
the
them it
GBA
was, 'cause
ones
there
are
were
good.
so many.
Yeah,
I'll tell you which
'cause
one, like you.
the
you take
GBC
over,
ones
I'll
are like fucking Calvin Ball.
What does that mean?
They are making up the rules as they go. It is like you can ritual summon if you just happen to have these 2 cards in your hand, and you just pinch them in a weird way, and it's kind of like halfway between how the anime logic works and how the game actually plays, whereas the Game Boy Advance ones like actually sort of played like the video game or like the actual card game.
Okay, I believe I had Championship Tournament 2004. That was the one I had.
Mm.
And I enjoyed it quite a bit. That was like the most Yu-Gi-Oh! I played. Or it was either that or Eternal Duelist Soul. But I remember really being able to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Digitally as someone who could not afford to get into another card game at that time. It scratched the itch. I was like, you know what? Yu-Gi-Oh's cool. I like this. And then after that, yeah, I played more. I looked for more of that stuff. I wanted to bring up quickly, you mentioned Battle Network. They actually made a Battle Network, Capcom made a Battle Network spin-off that plays more like a card game that Battle Network does, called Battle Chip Challenge. I don't know if that's the one where the Ring Girl is from, if you've seen her. So Battle Chip Challenge is an actual, like, you don't move in the board like you do in Battle Network. You're just like at the mercy of whatever cards you draw.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it gives it like a different dimension. It's a little more limited, but it plays more like a traditional card game, and I think that was the point, was to make a Battle Network game where the chips were a little Yeah, like the deck building was a lot more essential to it.
I'm not familiar. For as much as I love this series of games, I'm not familiar with that one.
I recommend it. It's a really neat spin-off, good music, new characters in it. I think they redid Ring Man as Ring Girl, and then Turbo Man is in it from Mega Man. What's that? I think 8. No, 7 from Mega Man 7. Turbo Man gets like an EXE version. I love Battle Network, how it reinterprets. A lot of Mega Man fans disagree with me, but I adore how Battle Network reinvents every classic character and brings in characters from other series and mixes them in. It's like the closest I'm ever going to get to a crossover Mega Man game. So I have a love of it, an affection for it in that respect.
All right, so let's take a few steps back here, though. I did a little bit of homework on this. So,
wow, not me.
if we're talking about the history of like card battle games or like card game video games, so we've got the 90s boom of trading card games, your Magics and the games that happen in the wake of Magic, Pokemon, Digimon, Yu-Gi-Oh, things like that. Imagination. In this era, we're along the lines of like late Super Nintendo, Game Boy Color, N64, and at this point, like people are able to have PCs, consoles, or even handhelds that have enough, memory on them and screen real estate to where they can actually display readable cards and have enough memory to actually play them. Like you could not really have much
challenge,
Yeah, you couldn't really have a card game on the NES. I'm sure there's probably a few, but like it's prohibitively more difficult.
Actually, the first card game was an NES game. The card game video game was an NES game. I'll tell you.
But
right now.
I would say that like Game Boy Color is where you really started to get more of these games, because that's when you had Pokemon TCG. You had Monster Rancher Card Battle.
Monsters rule. Sorry.
No, you're good. Are you
best
a bit of
localized intro for an anime?
Are you Suezo girly? Are you more of a Mochi fan?
I love Mochi so much. It's so cute. Like if you watch the anime again, Mochi is so funny. He's like the best fucking character. Also, but as a kid, I was mad crushing on the disc girl. I forgot her name. The rancher girl.
Look this up.
Yeah, she's the one that joins what's his name? Genki, the main character. She's the one that lives in the rancher world and finds it.
Oh, of course you like this girl. Oh my god, this is the most Jorge coded girl I've ever seen.
Oh no, that's not even the half of it. Then they introduce, was it Pixie? Yeah, the one that, I mean, she doesn't look like a pixie at all. She's a harpy. But holy shit, when I saw her, it was over. I was on a chokehold. Forget it.
Oh my god.
I have a weakness for the harpy ladies, and god damn it, targeted attack on my person.
It's got a modest farm girl mom, and it's got a harpy. Like that's the two genres of Jorge women.
She okay, to be fair, in my defense, she's not a farm girl mom. She's more of like the big sister type.
Okay.
But anyway, one of the first card games listed as a video game was a Dragon Ball game called Daimao Fukatsu. Yeah, and then, man, Arcana by HAL Laboratory. Did you ever heard of this? Super Nintendo?
No.
A HAL developed game. An RPG with card game mechanics.
Interesting.
Oh, I gotta play that. I gotta put that on my playlist. That's awesome.
Yeah. Okay, but so to kind of go back to our actual topic here, like it takes a minute for games to actually be able to accommodate like cards in them, whether that be like
but to
having...
I'm sorry. That's why I was looking this up. To your point, there had to be certain advancements in like the graphics in order to give them more depth as they would in real life.
Mm-hmm. So this is what I would call like the 90s era of just making digital versions of these card games.
Mm-hmm.
And usually they're like pared back or they're more simplistic most of the time.
but graphics matter for stuff like that.
Yeah, it's not even readable.
Do you remember? Yeah, you remember the old Pokemon TCG on Game Boy? If you wanted to read the description for the cards, it would just have to pull up the entire screen to tell you like what the card does, because there's not enough text you could fit in a Game Boy screen.
It's great. I wouldn't have it any other way.
It slows the pace of that game down to a crawl. But that game is wonderful and actually pretty good.
Yeah. Also, like the advantage of that is the cards are so stupid simple that you just don't need to.
Oh yeah, back then, yeah, there wasn't a lot it had to say anyway. So.
No. So I would say that's like your early era of video game card games. Then you get to the early to mid 2000s, where you get a lot more of these action RPGs that use card game elements. You get spin-off games and series that are card games. So this is where we're getting Battle Networks, we're getting Phantasy Star Online 3, we're getting Metal Gear Acid, Phantom Dust. So a lot of genre bending or like series spin-offs that are really stretching like what a card game can be, because it's using card elements in other types of games. It's not strictly just you're playing this card game, but it's a Game Boy game.
I still need to play Metal Gear Battery Acid.
It's good for what it is.
It looks cool. I saw gameplay of it. I'm like, this. I would have been into this if I played it. But
people hated it when it's like, dog, it's just a board game.
Oh, they're all lame. People are so lame. No one knows what they want.
I will at least say, I've said this on the podcast before, but like, if you come expecting like a certain thing and then they make a sequel and it's a card game, I get being a little like frustrated. But other than that, like, yeah, people were mad and it was stupid.
Oh.
They're dumb.
It looked cool. I never played it, but every time I see it, I'm like, haha, you use cards to move. That's dope.
So we had a bit of a lull after that, where card games were sort of like losing their popularity. They weren't really as big. But around the mid 20-teens is when we had a little board game known as Dominion. You ever played Dominion?
Dominion? No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Dominion was one of the first big deck builder board games.
Okay.
So it was like it was just like doing like different little like trading outposts in a town, I guess was the theme of the game. You were trying to get enough gold to get victory points to win the game. But it had this brilliant idea of like, what if the deck building portion of the game was also the gameplay for the game, you know? The gameplay is putting the deck together as you play the game. And it really popularizes this type of deck builder game. And so I actually looked this up. Slay the Spire was not the first big deck builder video game. It was actually a game called...
Wait, is Slay the Spire really credited as the first deck builder? Like,
largely it is. And I would say like for the impact it had, it is. But Dream Quest was the game that inspired Slay the Spire, and it functionally plays the same way, where you explore through a dungeon, you get to stop by item shops, you fight battles to get experience and get cards after you do the battle. Like it is like quintessentially the same thing, but this game was like an unpolished Flash game, and then the person who made this game gets sniped by Blizzard and helps make Hearthstone.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah, so the game never really gets like finished or polished or anything like that. But it does inspire Slay the Spire, which is like the first game of this wave of now the rogue-like style of card game, which is something we haven't really spoken too much on behalf of. But
2014, no kidding.
But I would say this is like the current era of video game card game, is the deck builder, is the idea that like it's less about this like campaign where it's slowly doling out, you know, cards to you, different opponents to you, like scaling the difficulty curve with like the power of the cards. This is a game where like fundamentally you building the deck is the game.
Okay, so can I ask you like what makes this different from say like the Yu-Gi-Oh card games? How is this standing out as its own thing?
So I would say the expression is more on the fly. Like you can say like, oh, I like playing this type of character, or I prefer to play this type of deck. But in a deck builder, like if you don't like a deck or a style, like if you want to win, like tough cookies, you kind of need to play whatever the best thing you can at any given moment.
But I guess like So what made this be like the quintessential deck builder for games, whereas like we already had games based on trading card games, is what I'm trying to figure out.
So I think deck builders are a little bit easier designed because they don't necessarily need to be extremely balanced. You know, think about it this way:
Okay.
like if you had an early, really powerful card in a game like Pokemon TCG, you know, if right out the gate you're getting like Hitmonchan and Scyther, like as your first cards, like the game would just be fundamentally like boring and broken because you would just play Haymaker all the time. That classic
Sure.
deck archetype. You know, you have to dole out like the whole experience for one of those more campaign-based card games. For a rogue like a deck builder, the experience is the randomness of like potentially getting a powerful card and using it to your advantage, but like you're not necessarily guaranteed that. So I think these games are easier, quote unquote, to develop in that like it's less punishing if the difficulty curve isn't perfect.
So it's more. It focuses more on the. It focuses more on like a. On like the play by play, or like the
Exactly.
single encounters between. Because when I think of Slay the Spire, and what makes it different from like a card game, is that it's like an adventure game too, and also the fact that you're not really. I mean, I think there is PvP. Am I correct in thinking that? Can you play against other people in Slay the Spire?
You can now
so
play.
there you
You
go.
can now play co-op, but
then that's the difference. You're kind of playing solo. It's really a solo game.
I don't know if
solitaire,
like,
but with like monsters that fight back.
yeah, which is funny because like a lot of the early deck builder board games is like you're racing to build your deck with like you're usually using either resources or card like.
Okay, so the other factor then would be like the progression of the game is the cards you get like with every playthrough, or like with every subsequent playthrough, as opposed to like opening packs and you get like this card. You have to participate in the game's like rules in order to get more cards as a reward. Is that like
Exactly. Like the deck builder sometimes has that. It's more like you unlock the pool of cards expands, and you're given like more archetypes or more overall powerful cards for your subsequent runs. But generally speaking, like you can still beat the game from like run one. It's just going to be harder. But yeah, you're right. It's more responsive. It's more about reacting to the best card you can pick in a given moment.
Yeah, because I guess like I'm trying to differentiate this from the games that already existed before it. Look, for example, Battle Network, which you can consider a deck building game. So Dream Quest, how does that one? How does that one become like a new thing? Where in a world where like Battle Network already existed.
I would say it was because it's more run based. There's not like a long story based campaign. And it's more about adapting to like getting like so you're being given a bunch of cards to pick from to add to your deck
from the get-go
as you progress through the game, and it's more about picking the cards that best suit your style of deck that you want to build. It's more about like the game is building the deck, whereas I feel like in Mega Man Battle Network, it's like you play the game for a little bit, you do your battles, you get some new cards, you maybe add a little bit, but then every once in a while you'll like fundamentally change your deck or upgrade it or something like that. Like, but you're like progressing sort of linearly. Whereas like in these deck builder games, like half of the game is just building the deck as you're playing the game.
Oh, that's the focus of it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
You know, what if we made a game about like how you pick cards for your deck, or like what you choose to like focus your deck on? And like usually it's like about being given very explicit choices.
Is Dream Quest kind of like Slay the Spire, where like you have to build your deck on the fly? You can't really prepare ahead of time. You kind of have to adapt to whatever cards you unlock after every fight.
Yeah, no, it's extremely like Slay the Spire, and that like you do a fight, and then after the fight you pick a card, and it's between like 2 or 3 cards,
and that's how you build your deck. So you can't go like, for example, I sometimes go in play as what's her name, the Poison Lady,
the Silent.
Yeah, it's like I want to have a poison deck. I'm like, no, I want to build a poison deck, but the game keeps giving me knives, and I'm like, well, shit, I guess I'm making a knife deck.
Yeah, you can try and force it, but you might have a bad time.
No, it's better. Yeah, but I think the game purposely wants you to create a deck according to these to the RNG. Like play around or make you make decisions based on the randomness. Otherwise, like there's no point. Then just play a regular card game where you can pre-build your deck and go along with it. I feel like that's probably the fundamental reason then. The fundamental
And so I say the era that we're in now is like we are largely seeing this is the era. We're still in the wake of the roguelike deck builder. You said 2014, but it's like more than 10 years later, we're still in it, baby, with Slay the Spire 2. And the king is back. Like times are good. But I would say
I see.
I'm not like mad necessarily because I understand that these games are just fundamentally like easier or more straightforward to design. And also, that's just the style that like is in vogue right now. But it does suck that there's just fewer games that are more about this like card campaign, as it were.
Okay, yeah. I'm understanding a little bit what you mean by Dream Quest being like a new generation of card game.
Mm-hmm. And really, it's Slay the Spire because like I feel like everything beyond then. I think like there's a lot of really great games, but I do feel like we're stagnating a little bit in that most of the games are just Slay the Spire, but so I do wonder, like, when is the next big evolution going to happen? We have had some outliers. I bring up Inscription and how that does start out like a very traditional deck builder, but it plays off of that. It's more about like,
I really want to start that one.
It's more about like, can I fundamentally change the rules of this card game such that now it's less about building the deck as you go and more about like adapting to the game as you go.
That's the fun of it. It keeps you on your toes. It's more fluent, or you have to be. It forces you to be more fluent and analytical and what's the word I'm looking for? Where like you cannot expect to. Things are not going to go your way, so you might as well.
The fun is adapting. Like we get it. You figured out how to break the game. We're going to change the entire game now.
Yeah, you can't just break it. It has to. You have to have the good RNG if you want it to go your way 100%. But the fun of it is figuring out how to make it work even with those restrictions.
Yeah. And so I think the fun of like these deck builder games is figuring out like the landscape or like the rules, like what is the best pick given your situation. And I do kind of miss this older style of, again, the campaign based card game, but I don't know, like I'm curious to see what the future of video game card games holds because
you said it again.
I said it again so that I can tally it more. So that like I feel like we're on the precipice of like a new wave of these games. I'm just waiting for like the next thing to fundamentally change how we see these card games.
Right now we're at you're either Slay the Spire or your Pokemon TCG or your MTG or your Hearthstone.
Yeah. We're actually, and that's another thing too, is I think card games like trading card games are really big right now. Everyone's designing their own, and they all have digital.
COVID brought them back. I think COVID brought them back. Do you agree with that?
No, definitely. I absolutely. It is a post-COVID card game boom because everyone is playing the digital clients of these games, and now that they kind of got used to that, and these games are like more physical, people are used to like both the collecting aspects, the hustling aspect, unfortunately. But then also like going.
That's better in video game card games is the fact you don't have to deal with scalpers.
Yeah. I mean, and I mean that's why we like these deck builders because it's like I'm just gonna use what's in front of me. I'm not gonna have to worry about some metagame or like getting these new good cards.
I know. Let's not go into that. I didn't mean to derail.
You're okay. But yeah, it's hard to say like like obviously I can't know what the future is going to be like that's I can guess, but like there's really no way to know. I think we're starting to experiment with like what is like how little can we really be a card game. I say Balatro even though it's poker, like that is fundamentally a card game, but like the card aspect of that is more the jokers.
We didn't even get into how like all these are kind of built off of the universal card games.
Oh, I mean it's poker, but you choose the poker hands you deal give you certain amounts of points, and the jokers you pick give you modifiers for those points, whether it's like, oh, straights give you more points. But you can also buy cards for your deck, so it's like...
What about the gays?
So your deck just fundamentally has more hearts. Okay. What was that?
No, it's fine. You should ignore me. That was a dumb joke. Editing Kyle will hear it.
Editing Kyle here. I did not think it was very funny, and now I had to stop what I was doing to edit this. Jorge, do you have anything to say in your defense?
Hi, I'm Jorge. I hate cult sets. I'm overrated. Be mean to me.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. No, I got stun locked because I clicked on Steam deck builders to see what is out there currently, and then I am sorry, but I clicked on something because I am a weak fool called Isekai Big Dick.
Okay, actually, the joke I said is perfect now. And Kyle will have a blast.
It's just Balatro with hentai.
I mean, I guess,
but
does Balatro count in this like evolution of card games? Actually, now that you bring that up,
maybe that's where the future is. It's like is reinterpreting classic
number
card
go
games.
up, right? Bro, number go up games should be a new genre. Let's go back to our genre episodes.
Yeah. But yeah, so like, maybe that's where the future lies. Is like reinterpreting like classic or iconic card games with like new skins, like new ways of making these games like fresh with like modifiers, with different rule sets, with having to adapt to the fly of like what does it mean to like play poker with like X amount of modifiers to it? I don't know.
Yeah, sure. I don't know if that is going to be enough to move away from the Balatro. I was going to say stank, but I should be nicer. Like the bones, the DNA.
Well, I mean, in the sense that like I feel like how every game post Slay the Spire has to be Slay the Spire, but now we've got Balatro likes, or now we've got games that don't even care that it's fun to reinterpret an iconic card game where you kind of know like how to play poker. Now they're all just number go up. So yeah, I guess I am still just waiting for like what the new card game is going to be, what the new thing that like makes all the other games have to follow in its wake.
Where should we look, Kyle?
I would say honestly the TCGs that are coming out are really giving like Magic a run for its money. It can no longer afford to just be the big name in town. You've got your Rift Bounds, you've got your One Pieces, you've got your Gundams.
And what do you think of Lorcana? Have you played that?
I have not actually played it. I know that it takes a lot after Magic, and it does the thing where like you don't actually interact with one another. You just kind of build your little thing and you get more points than your opponent because they don't want you actually fighting.
Oh, this is for friends only.
Yeah, I don't want to hurt your feelings. You've got your power line there. I don't want you to feel bad by killing power line. I'm not gonna do that.
You can't be mean to me. I have power line.
So yeah, I think right now like all these like physical TCGs are really giving a lot of the roguelike deck builders a run for their money because why would I play these games that are more about like this instant gratification when I can like actually go into the game store and like play with real people and like there's like a meta and I can see like the cool things that develop because of like my specific side of town.
Yeah.
So
I guess we need a I don't want to say we need like a hero to save us because I think it's kind of lame to sit around and wait for things to get better. But I think you're right. I think experimenting, branching out, playing other games will probably enrich our idea of what is a card game and by extension, what is a video game card game.
Yeah, I think they're going to start getting weird with it, someone's going to have to like, really experiment. That's what
Balatro did, right?
Yeah, exactly. It took a really iconic classic thing and added some simple modifiers to it. And that gave it a whole fresh new spin. People are maybe taking the wrong lessons from it, but like, it made
It's the same with Slay the Spire and Hearthstone and every derivative thing from that. The lesson they take is not, well, how do we yes and this, to quote you, but instead it's like, well, how do we just do this because it works. Some cool things can come out of that, but more often than not, you're just gonna get clones that are kind of there to just be competition and alternative for people.
But all the same, I think like the reason that these games can like be clones at the rate they are is that like cards just work. Like the concept is just a format that makes sense. You can just like reinterpret these things again and again and again, and like that's just kind of what you do playing one card game in general, is see the rectangles, learn what they do, and add new modifiers and rules to them. Like that's all a single card game is. That's just Pokemon, is when they add a new set. And then you get that by like enjoying new games. Like does that make sense? Like every new game is the same thing as like a new set in a single video game or a single card game. Cards just work.
Yeah.
Like we just understand fundamentally how they work, even though like our brains do not understand randomness and numbers. Like it just works when it's these little rectangles in front of us.
How did card games become a thing? Chapter 1, the Tang Dynasty. 9th century.
Yeah,
China.
right. You see, China figured out block printing, and then white people were like, holy shit, this rules. I need to gamble.
I mean, I do think it's cool that like, just to go YouTuber essay mode on everybody. It is cool that like multiple cultures invented card games on their own. Independently. Like that's cool. I like that tells you what you say, where it's like it just works. It's just a thing. It's how games work. That somebody just figured it out. A lot of people play tested it, labbed it. It grew with the culture, which is what happens to TCG too. Like it grows with the community, it grows with the culture. Whether or not, I think to add to your point, something that could help these games evolve is to allow or to support players who are exploring new ways of playing these games. To give more room to the formats that aren't Commander, Kyle. To give you that point. And same with Pokemon, to give more room to things that aren't standard, like to not I love this word, I'm trying to remember what it's to not create a monoculture out of like your own formats and your own TCG game.
Maybe that is where the future of these like card games are. Where I was talking about with Cube is more about designing a format. So maybe that's the future of these card games. It's like fundamentally like instead of building the deck, it's building the card game.
It's building the card game. It's building that moment of leisure, of entertainment, of community, of sharing with friends. Which isn't that what it's all about, Kyle?
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
We haven't changed in the past, 1,000 years. We just want an excuse to hang out with people and make the rectangles appear in a new way.
How can we not get mad about rectangles anymore?
I don't know. We've been trying to solve that as long as time has existed.
Part 1. Part 1, Neanderthals versus Cro-Magnons. Is that how you pronounce it?
Cro-Magnums.
Cro-Magnums.
Fuck those guys. Those Cro-Magnums. Cro-Magnums suck.
Bro,
I saw this video
like
though where a
Mignon.
Cro-Magnum tried a buzzball and they were freaking out. And I was like, hell
God,
yeah,
not the
brother.
buzzball.
Yeah.
All right.
Jorge,
Okay.
I finished my whiskey sour. I have not had an opportunity to give you this fun fact. I don't know if you've heard this bit before, but
What bit?
I didn't have any time to put this in the episode, so I will say it now. But did you know that when you take a bicycle deck, like a standard playing card deck of cards,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
when you shuffle that deck and if you shuffle it properly, like enough times for it to be functionally random, and you dish out those cards, statistically speaking, that is the first time that arrangement of cards has ever happened in the history of the universe.
Yeah. I read about that too.
It's crazy.
Just because of the way
the permutations of 60 unique cards with like 8.
Yeah, just the possible combinations are essentially infinite, and I get what you're saying. Now, what I think is cool is that regardless of that, people can still learn card counting and get good at playing bicycle, like deck. Yeah, I love that about it. Like there is a skill. Like the randomness is not an obstacle. There is a skill to it. There is a learning curve.
I just think that's beautiful. That like we figured out, like our brains have just like figured out how to functionally make like a random number generator before the computer by like by 1 to 2,000 years.
We are the real computers.
Yeah, exactly. It's your brain. So Jorge, I have one. Fuck AI. I'm 2 whiskey sours in, but I could be stone cold sober.
Oh God,
and say
he's
that
got
straight
2.
to your face.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have Kyle.
Mad Dog Kyle.
Mad Dog Kyle.
My Metal Gear boss name.
Cute. Actually, that's your Yakuza name.
Boo boo. Jorge, I got one last question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Are digital collectible card games better than real card games?
Yes. End of question. Move on. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm not gonna say. I'm gonna say yes. I'm not gonna say yes. I'm gonna say like it's subjective. It's extremely up to the individual to decide what they prefer. I know for me personally, I 100% prefer digital card games. Like video games, put cards in my video games. I love it. Do more of that. I love Slay the Spire. I love Lost.
I will say this.
Battle Network.
This conversation really has unlocked one thing for me, and that's that the untapped potential of representing cards digitally is still so vast. There's still so many things we have yet to do.
Yeah. You can do more with it, and the problem is that, like you said, did you say this earlier? The limit is your mind.
I did. I said,
but that's literally what's going on here. You were asking earlier, how can we make this better? And I think it is that we need to utilize the video game medium as for what it is, a video game. Video games need to be video games. Period. And I feel this way about a lot of things today. Like, why can't we just make video games? Let's stop making fucking movies. And also, maybe we should stop just imitating like other card games. You know, that it's cool that we have the alternative, but will it progress further? Will it move further this way? I don't know if it will. I like weird things like Cold Set, where you combine all these different things into one thing that could be a real board game, but it would be incredibly difficult to pull that off.
Yeah.
However, in a video game, it's incredibly easy.
I think that's the beauty of this conversation we're having. Is that like I think the fun thing about video game card games is that like I play them to do things I can't do in regular card games, because if I wanted to play regular card games, I can, and I will, and I am going to be doing that tomorrow. Like I will play physical card games with real people in a little cafe. Like I'm going to be doing that.
I know where you're going.
I'm not going to
say where. Oh, wait. Oh, actually, I didn't know that. No, I thought it was
They got boba tea. They got little bento boxes. It's great.
Shit.
Yeah. And they got lots of table space. Anyways, the point is, like, I'm going to be playing a real card game there with real people I know, but, like, I'm also simultaneously going to play Slay the Spire with my wife because it's got co-op, and it can do cool things that would be, like, prohibitively difficult in a board game. Like, you can play Slay the Spire, the board game, like that, but, like, I would prefer to play it as a video game because it works best as a video game, because that's just how this card game.
A board game.
Yeah, and like if it's funny too, because if you see that board game, like it is like a proto Slay the Spire 2.
That's nice.
That's
good.
But yeah, I think there's so many cool things that you can do by either doing card games digitally or just adding cards and deck building to existing video game genres.
It's much more accessible to people. I will say that. I will give that to video games.
Yeah, maybe that's the future. Maybe that's the future of video game card games, is like we need to do more genres. Like, what does a first-person shooter card game look like? Because Slay the Spire, because Neon White doesn't count. That just has cards that are just items.
That goes into like the kind of the chain of memories issue. Where
it's just the aesthetics of
cards, not necessarily. I thought you were gonna throw me into the question zone. I was freaking out. Sorry.
Oh no, you threw me into the question zone. Welcome to the question zone.
No way. We're not I have one more thing to say.
Okay, say your one more thing.
Yeah, I want to reiterate a point I made earlier because I do think it's really important. To me, the appeal of traditional card games, of physical, real card games, is that you have your imagination to work off of. I think it's cool that video games give us like the means to enhance the experience with like little, I don't know where I'm going with. No, I know where I'm going with this. It's cool that video games make it like an immersive experience. It's cool that video games make it a more intense spectacle of an experience. But there is a magic in imagining your card being in motion, being alive, being in front of you. There's a feeling, and this happens every time I get into a card game. It happened with Magic, it happened with Pokemon. But like sometimes I see my card and I can like feel it like it's real, like it's there. You know what I mean? It's not just that I'm looking at a piece of paper.
My favorite Magic cards are the ones where it's like you read the rules and you're like, you look at the art and you're like, oh, it does the thing, and then I do the thing that's like doing the thing.
And then in the picture it might be showing that, or rather like, oh my god, one of my favorite Pokemon cards was the full art for do you remember what the Pokemon Crystal guy in front of the game is called? Suicune? Is that it?
Suicune, yeah. Or Suicune?
Suicune,
yeah.
Because I don't want it to sound like suicide. But Suicune, like full art Suicune from like, God, what expansion was it? Crown Zenith? I fucking love that card. I'm gonna show it to you. I look at it and I'm like, oh my god, it's moving, it's ready, it's gonna prepare the blizzard.
Mm-hmm.
It's helping me get, I don't know, I immerse myself, and then suddenly my imagination is putting it together. Like it happened too with Magic when I was playing the one of the commander decks for Final Fantasy. I believe it was I think it was the Terra one, which has like some of the Final Fantasy 6 cards. The one of them is the Doom Spirit. I forget, the guy that's like flying around the overworld in the World of Ruin. There's a card for that guy, Doomgaze. And God, I looked at it and I'm like, oh shit, it's Doomgaze, and it has an effect that feels very in tune with like that type of enemy. And I just pictured like it floating over like my opponent's like fields and just causing terror to them. I fucking love that shit. I don't know. That's something that like video games can try to replicate, but the imagination is just so much more powerful than a video game can be. Like, believe it or not, I think people underestimate their power of imagination, and that's all I want to say. You can take me to the question zone now, since you asked.
Okay, let's. Yes, I will deal you out a couple of question zone cards. Please draw one of the questions.
My question zone card. Welcome to the question zone. Get ready.
Yes, we've entered the question zone. We've solicited a number of questions. You can contact us at brainlordspod@gmail.com. Our first inquiry is from Nothing Is Ever Ogre Battle 64, who asks, is there a video game you would like to see adapted in the form of a physical card game?
They already did it. It's called Unicorn Overlord.
Is that Oh, yeah, you're right. They have a little deck builder.
It kind of did. I never played it, so
I need to play it.
Vouch for
I feel
it being
bad.
Good.
It seems fine. It's probably fine. But okay, what is a video game you want to play the card game version of?
I said Unicorn Overlord, but something Vanillaware with just having that artwork.
Yeah, God, yeah.
I would buy a whole fucking set of cards.
An Odin Sphere. Oh, you know what? Actually, do a Muramasa card game that's like placing the cards like physically down on the table is like your position on the battlefield and like is doing a combo.
Oh my god, I'm so excited for the new version. I mean, it's not even a new version; it's a port of the Vita game. But I'm so glad it's coming out for Steam and PlayStation. My god, people, please play Muramasa. I know it's not.
Please play Muramasa.
Anyway, yes, or 13 Sentinels as a card game. I would fucking love that. Just having like different cards. Something I loved about the Final Fantasy MTG expansion, which you probably mentioned before, is just how much attention they gave to the things I wasn't expecting them to acknowledge. Like everything with the name Final Fantasy and a number on it was represented in some way with the TCG, MTG expansion. So I was really happy about that. And so something like that would be, let me think of a different game. I'm not going to cop out with Vanillaware, but like, I would love a Xenoblade card game, 100%. Like Xenoblade Chronicles, or even like all of Xeno, like Xenogear, Xenosaga, and Xenoblade Chronicles just made into like a card game. I would 100% be all over that. And I'd be surprised if it wasn't made already, actually.
You know what I'm really surprised doesn't have a card game that I know of? Dragon Quest.
Wait, no shit. Yeah, I'm going to look this up now.
It probably has like a crappy small one, but like...
Oh, yeah. Dragon Quest TCG was a thing in Japan.
It probably, again, it was probably in the wake of Magic and Pokemon that just like came and went, but I would love to see a modern one because their monster design is so great.
Or at least
and they've got so much to pull from. They can do so many expansions. It's like, oh, here's the like original trilogy of cards.
Okay, so it was made for around the time 10 came out, so for 2014. It only had a few games represented though, 6, 4, 5, and 10. So yeah, I mean, I think we're due for another one. We're due for a refresh.
I'm trying to think of like what other franchises and shit I like.
Mega Man X had a card game made, and that was kind of cool. Back in the day, back in when X3 was out, they made a card game. They gave it a story. It was basically an interim story between X3 and X4. So it was kind of canon back then until it wasn't, because it was kind of wacky and bonkers bananas. There's like an evil X in it, if that says anything, called Eeks, which is some Star Wars expanded universe shit, I swear to God. But it's kind of cool how they were able to go wacky with Mega Man X back then, just because it was kind of a low stakes attempt at a card game. It didn't really affect the canon or the lore too much. I want to see more stuff like that really plays around. Is not afraid to be part of the canon. Actually, that's what I'm gonna say. Yeah, I want a Xenoblade card game that you have to play because it will be referenced in other Xenoblade games. Like
Xenoblade would also awesome. do wonders as a card game, because you could just put a booby lady on the different cards.
Be quiet. That's only Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
And I had no further comments. Do that, please.
A surplus of bigum bosoms. And no shade, honestly. People shit on Xenoblade Chronicles 2, but I think it's a good game. I'd like get over the animate titty shit, and you'll enjoy it.
Hollow Knight and Silk Song, those could be cool games because I want to draw some cards and see some cool bugs.
Yeah. That would be a good one. And I'm sure you can like hire someone to make a good like card game out of it. And
maybe you could maybe like you could play cards that change your position on the board, because it's it's all about like dodging and stuff like that. Any of the Supergiant games could.
Kyle, every card in the Hollow Knight game will have a quote in the bottom that just says "Jabba Jabba."
Oh, I actually kind of really like that.
It's just gibberish in the you know how I forget what card game. Yeah, I think Magic does that, where it has like a quote from the lore or a character saying something.
I play my shopkeeper, and it just says on the bottom, "Babanada."
That was the one. That's what I'm trying to remember. Babanada.
Babanada.
Okay, that's my answer.
So you got a Babanada.
It's true. Jorge, you want to read our next question?
With that thorax. Okay, so unban the Hex Maniac cards. Asks. By the way, it is banned. Did you know this?
No, I didn't know this.
That's actually true.
What does it? Hold on. What does it do?
Hex Maniac. Let me look it up for you. Hex Maniac card.
Maybe it's just because the art is too sultry. Until the end of your opponent's next turn, each Pokemon in play, each player's hand, and each player's discard pile has no abilities. Okay, so it just locks everything out.
Yeah, that's banned. Even in expanded format, it's banned.
Yeah. Hex Maniac says, she says, the only thing that matters right now is a goth girl.
We come full circle. Do you have anyway? The question is, do you have a favorite promo card that was included with a video game?
That's a good question.
I remember a few.
I'd have to think. I mean, the Meowth and the Game Boy.
Yeah, that was a Jigglypuff.
One, that one's really cute. I'm sure Imagination probably had some.
Oh, you! My God, you mentioned Imagination. All these
Second time, yeah.
GVC. What was it like? Okay, promo card. I'm gonna look this up now. Did it have a promo card? Oh my God, it did. Oh, that's cool, dude.
You want to know something funny?
What?
Magic has this set called Mystery Booster that's like they only sell it at conventions, and it's like the card pool, instead of being like 100 or like 300 cards or whatever, the potential pool of cards is like 1,700. And
what the fuck?
Because it's meant to be just weird and crazy, and some of the cards they put in there are the first ever physical prints of cards that are only in the Dreamcast Magic the Gathering game.
No. So they're insanely rare now.
Well, I mean, like those cards didn't exist until basically they printed them for this one thing.
Oh.
And the cards are like they're dog shit. They're not good. But
oh, never mind. That's cool though. Oh, I forgot there was a MTG Dreamcast game.
No, you're getting into Dreamcast, so might as well.
Maybe I should
get
try that. Yeah. You know what else was on Dreamcast? A heavy metal game, like heavy metal. The
like the 2000s.
The movie.
Oh,
no, not 2000s. The 80s. Like, well, they did make heavy metal 2000. But no, you know what I'm saying? Like, they made a video game. Capcom made a heavy metal video game on the Dreamcast, and it's actually pretty good. It's just okay. Anyway, just random fucking licensed game drop there.
Yeah. Can you think of any other promos that came with video games?
Yeah, the Yu-Gi-Oh! Retro Collection. I forgot what it's called. What is it called? Yu-Gi-Oh! Wayback Collection. Wayback Machine. So I think it's called Memory something. They made a Yu-Gi-Oh! Game for current gen that you can that includes like the Game Boy Color games, the Game Boy Advance games. I was pretty excited when it came out. That actually had like a new version of Harpy's Feather Duster in it, and I thought that was really cool. Because, by the way, Kyle, the only Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards I'm collecting these days are anything that's a crossover Konami game card. So like the Goemon, the Gradius, the Metal Gear, they have actually had some of the Parodius cards too.
Wow.
Yeah. There were actually a surprising amount of crossovers for Yu-Gi-Oh! in Konami games. And the Harpy Lady cards.
Hell yeah.
That I don't know. I just have a thing for Harpy girls. Anyway, so
you're fine. I have a tab on my computer.
I need that Harpy, that Feather Duster.
I have a tab on my computer currently that says top 20 Yu-Gi-Oh cards that are gay icons, and you best believe Harpies are like top 5.
Bro, I know for a fact that these cards turn many women gay, and maybe men too were made gay by these. But yes, I needed that Harpy Feather Duster. Guess what? It's worth nothing now. You can buy this game new anywhere. So, but I thought that was cool. It incentivized me to get it. Another one I liked was, well, actually, I don't like this. It's just funny that it came with it. The Mega Man Battle Network. No, not Battle Network. The Mega Man Command Mission game. Mega Man X Command Mission came with a Mega Man X card that you could play in the Mega Man Battle Network card game, which is really wild. Yeah. I thought it was kind of neat that it gave you an extra card that is like Mega Man from a different universe to play in like the Battle Network game.
That is exactly kind of neat. Yeah, I don't have anything nuanced to add to this. I'm just gonna say, like, the Meowth that came with the Pokemon TCG GB game, the art is so cute. He's just pawing at his little face. It says promo on the side. It just feels cool.
Promo.
Like,
oh yeah, I like this one. This is cute.
Look at him. And his move is called Cat Punch. That's kind of fun.
Okay, I have something to share about Pokemon TCG.
What?
You remember they banned, or they didn't ban, they changed the artwork for one of the Misty cards in the Gym Leader expansion for the US version.
Okay.
Because in the Japanese version, she is topless. And mind you, I think this decision is a sound one. You don't want to
she's holding
cards.
the Starmie.
Yeah, but artistically, it's one of my favorite like cards in the base format or the retro format. It's beautiful art, honestly. It's called Misty's Tears.
Yeah. You don't swim nude with your Starmie? I do.
But I just found it like when I first saw the art for it, I was just like, oh my God, there's like emotions going on here. I was very moved by it when I first saw it. But I will stand by the decision to not localize this card. Like I know it's a game for teens, but I don't want to think about Misty without a shirt on.
Yeah, it's a little
I'm like
too
too
risque
old for that. Yeah. So, but still, as an art card, I thought this is like, I don't know. There's like something going on in this illustration. It's cool. It's really neat.
Yeah.
And I want more cards like that where it feels like, I don't know. I like looking at the art and feeling something is a powerful effect that cards can have.
Yeah, I feel bad for the Yu-Gi-Oh players because their art can be evocative and stylized, but it kind of sucks.
Bro, Yu-Gi-Oh has the wildest, like, what would you call that? Like, just discrepancy. Oh, or just inconsistent quality of art. More than Magic the Gathering, I believe.
Yeah.
Just the jump from and don't get me wrong, some of like the classic cards are like they still look good to this day.
They're stylized, yeah. But they have no consistency. Yeah, you're right.
No, absolutely none. There's no art direction. There was no art direction in Yu-Gi-Oh for a long time.
Anyways,
it's just like, yep, do it. No, I like that you brought this up because that is one of my pet peeves with Yu-Gi-Oh. It's just like
it's true though. So yeah, that is my favorite promo card included with the video game. Thank you, Unban the Hex Maniac. Well, Jorge, I'd like to end with a special segment for this episode only. The trip to the deck room, where we recommend something inside and outside the world of card gaming. So yeah, this is our chance to recommend our favorite card game video games.
I'm scared. This is different and new, and I don't like it because I'm a crusty-ass millennial, and I don't like new things.
Yeah. We'll talk about old things you like. What are your favorite card game video games?
I mean, I already gushed about it, but like Concept is my favorite.
You love Concept, and I love that about you.
It's just so cool. I remember when I first saw it, I'm like, this looks dumb and hard and difficult. I don't care, and I'm losing to the training stage. But the more I gave it like a shot, I guess like I gave it a chance. I met the game halfway in the middle, and I realized that I was playing something incredibly unique that I feel is like my standard of card games. I love having a system that's like more than just the cards at play, but still have that deck building aspect where like you do get like the cool hype cards. There are cards in Concept that you when you like learning the game, a game that doesn't exist in real life, unpacking a pack in the video game and getting a rare card has the same effect because you know that's something you're gonna use. You get so excited when you get the Kelpie. You're like, oh my God, let's fucking go. Okay, now I can have 3 of these in my deck. Yes. Because you can't buy singles like you can in real life. You have to unpack everything in Concept. And then also just the wacky ass character design, especially Saga. If you ever have a chance, go look up the character designs for Concept Saga. You want to talk about like just wacky ass art direction. Those characters I belong in games that I think that they're from different universes that we cannot access, but they do not belong in the same game. I don't know whose idea it was to put all these people together. But yeah, I recommend it. I've said it before, MTG plus Monopoly. It's the simplest kind of actually dumbing it down way I can describe it, but there's more to it than that. It's a game that gets difficult the more you play it. Well, it's a game that is merciless and does not shy away from being what it wants to be. So I appreciate that about it. So yeah, there you go. That's my video game recommendation. Kyle, I'm glad you're back. You went out and you left for a second.
I tried to look up Concept Saga characters and I flew too close to the sun. What the fuck? She's got like
I'm telling you.
Oh my
It's-
god.
I don't even know, man. I don't even know.
She's like,
And
she's got a top hat and bat wings and like a
I know who
onesie
you're talking about,
bikini and stockings. Oh my god.
Saga has
And this
the
pink
wildest
lady?
character.
What the fuck?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know this
Now,
pink lady with the one legging?
Yeah, I'm seeing her. Yep. And the
Okay. We're on the
string
same page
bikini
here.
Under all, it's just a bunch of things that don't go together.
And
but
yet it
that's-
does.
You haven't even seen the guy that has like a chin strap, but I'm gonna leave that for later.
Okay.
Anyway,
My
there's a new
card
game
games-
coming out, so please
No.
look forward to that. Cult Set Begins. It's coming out on Steam, so look forward
I'll check
to
that out.
Also, real quick, Revolt has character designs from Kinu Nishimura, which is cool.
Who's that?
She's used to work for Capcom, does freelance now. She's known for a lot of her like very sapphic character design. Like she did Dungeons and Dragons Shadows of Mystara. She did some art for that.
Ooh.
Yeah. So she has a
All
type.
right.
But yeah, okay. Your turn.
Cool. Well, my video game card games I'd like to recommend. Of the classic stuff, Monster Rancher Battle Card GB is it's just really
I
cute.
have that.
It's really cute.
Oh, let's go. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll try it.
It's very simple. Like I can't speak of how good it plays like now as an adult, but I remember having a good time with it. If you do try out Mega Man Battle Network, I think I would recommend 2. Has the best
Really?
like overall stuff added.
One can
Like-
be rough if you don't like grinding and long fucking stages. It can be
Yeah,
rough.
one I think is like it has a little bit too little going on. I think 2 has just the right amount, without too much like needless complexity.
One demands a lot of your patience. It's not long at all, but just how long it takes to clear a stage is kind of insane.
Yeah. Phantom Dust, I think rules. Oh my god, Phantom
Ooh.
Dust is so cool. The character
Okay.
design is cool. The
Hey,
atmosphere
you
is
recommended
cool.
like 3 games. What gives? What the fuck is going on, bro?
Because I'm spending like 2 sentences on them.
Oh, excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
Cult Set Revolt, Cult Set Saga, Cult Set Begins, Cult Set.
Yeah, you're right.
the
You
first,
recommended like
okay, there
5
you go.
games. They're just all cult
There.
set.
Okay. All right.
Magic's got a cool like old PC game called Chandelar that's like an open world game where you can like you play.
What?
Yeah, it's an open world like PC game where you play against people and you play for ante, meaning you like if you lose a card, and if you win you steal a card
Yeah,
from
yeah.
your opponent. And like you go to shops, there's like early roguelike elements to it. It's really cool.
Wow. Wait, when does this come out?
Like early
Is it on
90s,
PC
probably
only?
like 96, 98 or something like that.
Would I be able to find this on Steam?
You might be able to find it on GOG.
GOG. More like not. Fuck.
Thank you.
Didn't work. The GOG is my
Uh,
favorite, one of my favorite aquatic Xeon suits.
That's true. You love the GOG. You love a good.
He looks like a potato. He's a potato boy.
Yeah, I'll have to look up how to play this game.
He grabbed the Gundam hammer. It was kind of fucking hype.
All right. Do you have any recommendations for non-video gaming or card gaming things?
Go play the Gundam TCG game. This is, yeah,
You
it's
like that one, yeah.
it's. I like it. Asterisk. It's kind of suffering from power creep right now,
Which is wild because that game is not that old.
It's not that old, but the problem is like you have mechanics like blocker and I don't know, it's not burst, breach, and immediately those have become the cards you like. That's the meta. You need those cards in your deck no matter what. So yeah, it's I don't know if I would recommend the high level play, but at least like pre-release or expansion release dates are pretty good to go to. I don't know. It's nice to meet people who like Gundam too.
Nice.
And yeah, it's cool to learn a new game, get out of your comfort. I like going to different stores every time I do a pre-release just to see what the dynamic and the vibe is.
I know there's like a meme right now where if you play any of the like the areas from Hathaway, all the Filipino players will be like, "Oh, you're going to the Philippines."
Yeah, there's some memes. I've gotten those. It was funny when the Hathaway expansion came out, because it came out with the 00 expansion too, and everyone picked Hathaway because we were all hyped for the movie. But it turns out the 00 starter deck is a lot better, so we got sweeped. I recommend it. It's pretty easy to get into now. There was kind of a problem earlier with scalpers too, because Bandai was printing like 2 of each box and just giving them out to whoever had them. But no, they've gotten better about that since. Look up. I would go to the Bandai TCG Plus website. They always have like their new events coming up, so you can check on that. Whatever's local, it'll map out anything that's near you. It's a pretty cool app too. So I recommend it. We're gonna have an expansion coming up this month. Actually, by the time this airs, this episode goes live, it probably will be past that. But we are getting a new expansion this month, so that's
nice.
exciting. Yeah, it's an SD Gundam expansion, so that's cool.
I would like to recommend a manga, a Magic the Gathering manga by a Japanese artist. The manga is called Destroy All Humans, They Cannot Be Regenerated. Have you ever heard of this manga?
Not at all.
So, Destroy All Humans, They Can't Be Regenerated is by Issei Katsura and Yokata Takuma. And one of the creators is actually the mangaka for a manga that's very dear to me that is very hard to recommend, called Master Masturbator Kurosawa.
That's the name of it. Wow.
Yeah, Onai Master Kurosawa. And it's basically like, what if someone who was like kind of like a shitlord incel, like smarty pants, like who actually idolized like Light Yagami from Death Note, what if they're like actually a person? And it's about like deconstructing like your awful antisocial bad habits and learning how to like integrate and be social and like find like love in your community amidst like bullying and weird like the weird feelings you get as you're like growing up and like having like sexual agency. But this is all to say that the creator of that, who did this like this beautiful like coming of age story dealing with like subversive topics, they made a magic manga called Destroy All Humans, They Can't Be Regenerated.
Oh, it's
and the gimmick of this
Magic
one,
the Gathering manga?
It is explicitly Magic the Gathering. Like, not like, haha, it's magic if you know what you're looking for. It's like literally for magic. But here's the gimmick. It's Japanese players experiencing old school magic like as a period piece. And the gimmick is that right around the time magic was really booming, like they hit a period called like Urza Winter, where like a bunch of really broken sets came out that just totally shut down the game. And the manga is about like these students living on the precipice of 1999, kind of worrying about the Nostradamus predictions as they're trying to like grow up into adolescence, get better at this card game, meet people, have romance, like go out to tournaments for the first time and like actually try to win something, despite the fact that they're like all supposed to be studying for like their entrance exams and stuff like that. Like, it is actually a really well drawn love triangle story about like getting along and like finding yourself and like learning to express yourself. It's got like a lead character who's kind of like a full of himself asshole that's like actually likable because they're competent and not just like a whiny piece of shit. So like and also like a romance where you're like, oh, I actually kind of want to see these two characters get together and they actually like kind of have a thing going on. It's not like a will they won't they for like, 100 volumes. So yeah, I really love it, both as like a period piece for magic history, but also it ties into the Japanese history of like being scared of the Nostradamus predictions, and like
they really were buying into that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like in the same way that we were buying into the like the Y2K bug stuff, even though like it was only circumvented because of real work from real people.
Sure.
But like, it's like a lot of these teens, like this is like budding romance of like, hey, if we live past apocalypse and nothing happens and we're not dating yet, do you want to date? Like, it's that kind of love triangle. It's really cute.
Well, thanks for that.
Yeah.
You actually, so what did you say the manga name was again?
Destroy all humans, they can't be regenerated.
And what year was this?
It's still ongoing. It's like recent.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Is it in English? Did they translate it?
Yeah, they're behind, but they do have a currently, like, I want to say Japanese is up to 18 volumes, and English is up to like 10 or something like that.
Oh, wow. 18 is a lot. Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
But the
That's
art's
cool.
really good, so.
Oh, let me look it up real quick. But while I look this up, you reminded me, did you ever play a game called Attack of the Friday Monsters?
Yeah.
3DS?
It's like Natsumon, but like...
yeah, it's like a mix of Natsumon plus like card collecting, but instead of being a card game about like deck building and fighting each other with cards, it's just about collecting, which I feel like we should have talked about a little bit, but it's too late now. Oh man, you made me think. I'm glad I brought it up before the episode ended, because that is like another game I think about more than I admit I will. It left an impression despite it being like a really short game. And then you want to know something else that's funny?
What?
There's a Concept manga.
Oh my god, of course.
And it got localized, like by Tokyo Pop, I think, back in the day before Concept. Well, actually, Concept did come out on the PS2, but I'm sorry, Kyle, but I had to say it. I'm like, guess what? There's a Concept manga too. Concept.
Thank you for being you, Jorge. That's all I have to say.
Yeah. You're welcome. Wait, give me that name. Give me that manga one more time.
Destroy all humans, they can't be regenerated.
Destroy all humans.
It's also like a really good card game manga. Like, even if you don't know the rules, it just knows how to do the pacing of like a fight. You know, it's one of those.
Is it true there's promo cards for this? That's cool.
Yeah, every manga comes with a promo card.
No shit.
Mm-hmm.
For like MTG? Wow.
Yeah, and it's always like reprints of like the classic card that they're like dealing with in the manga. Because like as the manga progresses, it goes through different eras of different sets.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
All right. It's neat.
It's like
Set in
actually
1990
low key extremely good for like a tie-in manga.
I would never have guessed. This is very stealthy. I would never have guessed this is an MTG manga, even though it says Magic the Gathering in the corner. Last fun fact of the night. Do you remember like Pokemon the card game was published by Wizards of the Coast, like when it
was?
Yeah, for the base set. That's why the size is not Japanese. They still have like the American dimension format for their cards.
Mm-hmm. Which thank God, because I hate the smaller cards.
Bro, and I hate that I have to buy new sleeves for them. Like when I get the smaller cards too. It's fucking stupid. Anyway. Yes, thank you for this. This is never would have guessed this is Magic the Gathering.
Thank you for letting me share with you. I appreciate that. Well, this has been Brain Lords,
the podcast that will likely get scalped because of its rarity.
The podcast that is shuffling up and drawing 7.
The podcast that can only mulligan once.
The podcast that draws 3 cards and asks you to put 2 cards back on the top of your library in any order. Wait, that's not Brain Lords. That's Brainstorm.
Oh!
You can find us on social media at BrainLordsPod. And if you've made it this far, please help us grow. 5-star ratings, word of mouth, social media bullshit. Really, just share with your friends and just comment. That's all that I need. You can find... Yeah, do all that stuff.
Do all that stuff, please.
You can find me on social media as Cute Monster Props or on my website, cutemonsterprops.com. Jorge, where can they find you?
You can find... I'm the 11th card in your Pokemon TCG pack. So first you gotta like take the energy card and put it in front so that you're not drawing the rare card first. Anyway, you can find me at Art of JMV, or go to Fangamer, look at collections, look up artists. You will see my name, JMV. You can see everything I worked on with them recently. And Art of JMV is my portfolio. I would rather you just check me out there than Blue Sky or Twitter, because Blue Sky and Twitter suck now. Yes, I said it. Blue Sky sucks, bro. Oh yeah, please get the Mina the Hollower shirt. I'm sure there's some left. I hope there's some left. Well, they've been kind of moving fast.
Get that Mina the Hollower shirt.
Point,
it's really good.
Out, but yes, please. Thank you. That's pretty good.
Well, questions, comments, and inquiries can go to brainlordspod@gmail.com. You can find us on YouTube and all the other places where podcasts are born. Check out our Blue Sky. We're always posting funny pictures and asking for questions.
No, Blue Sky sucks. Actually, no, check us out on Blue Sky. I work really hard on those images, actually. So no, check us out on Blue Sky, please.
Well, we have been your Brain Lords for this evening, reminding you that context beats content every single time.
And scalpers suck.
Scalpers suck. And I'm out of cards, so I lose the game.
Oh!
No. Next week on Brain Lords, we're role-playing. Can't truly get into character unless I'm turning my sprite around to look back as they leave their hometown. Gotta aim the camera just right once I crest this hill. Definitely need to find a little bed to stand on before I save my game. What do you mean, what's my build? I'm role-playing. Learn how to truly play your character in Every Game is a Role-Playing Game. Yes, I'm walking everywhere. I'm role-playing. Do you always run where you're going?